God damn it. What's going on? This is the Cloud Ninja Podcast. This is your boy Free, joined by Ryzen and my host, Black Uchiha. I mean, they're both my hosts. I don't know why I just said Black was my host. But yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're watching this later on. Like if you're watching this right now. Today we're going to be talking about different topics. We're going to start off with what the chapters mean, what the last chapter means for Sarda, plus more. So, lock in, grab a drink, grab your blunts. I don't know if you smoke, grab some tea, if you will. And yeah, let's lock in. What's going on, guys?
Doing all right, man. Rejuvenating. How you guys doing?
Rejuvenate. Took a nice little nap.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to take a nap. I was at the rodeo yesterday. So
If you guys don't know, Black is blaming this on the rodeo, but Black takes a old man nap before every
every
podcast.
pod though. I do take an old man nap, literally. And literally me being at the rodeo did not affect the time I still wake
Yeah,
up.
yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, Ryzen, my bad. I had you muted on accident. My fault. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's no problem at all. What's good?
Oh shit. I was wondering why
What's
Ryzen wasn't talking. I was like, what the
my fault. Yeah, I had muted it, so it didn't have any background noise while the countdown went on. But anyways, let's start with the first topic today that we had prepared. What does this mean for Sarda after the last chapter? Now that quote unquote her eye exploded, if we're going to go with that narrative, that her eye is exploded and she has no use, she no longer has use to her mangekyo, if that will be the case.
starting off with the heavy hitter topic?
Oh, most definitely. Why would not hit him hard, bro? You ain't never watch a George Foreman fight, bro? You come out with the heavy hitters first. You don't come out swinging light.
I respect that. I respect it. So we
I've
just gonna
never
say
seen the
like
George Foreman fight, by the way.
no, no, no. Yeah, I was. Is this, he's one of those people. I was literally gonna first say it, but I was like, "There's no point in saying it." I was like, "He's one of those people. I know the name, but don't know the face." I was literally about to say that, but
The George Foreman grills, you remember, dude?
now, see, now I got a face to the name because of a Drake and Josh episode.
Yeah, yeah, he fought Mike Muhammad Ali because he's old. But anyways, yeah. Besides George Foreman, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh shit. Oh yeah. So as far as like moving forward with her eye, what do basically I see for Sarada? Just we don't know if it's exploded. Yeah, that's true. The shit looks fucking done to me. The blood was everywhere, y'all. Y'all know how I feel about it, but I don't know why people would be even in distress. It just proves it's a good sign. It's happening now. Something better is gonna come for her later. Just like Kawaki shutting down happening now, something better is about to come for him later. Everybody gets their flowers picked in different baskets. It's just a matter of what it looks like when it blooms and how the process was along your path on the road. So Sarada's process on her path on her road is just looking different than what most people are used to. And, some people are used to boom, boom, bam, bam. We need the explanation, the reaction, the solution all in the same go so we can understand the full story rather than letting the shit sizzle on the pot a little bit just so what I'm saying, your meal could come out a little bit tenderized and stuff like that. So I think it's perfect for her. And I think if Ikimoto misses this opportunity to give us eye patch Sarada for at least a chapter or two, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Eye patch Sarada would go crazy, you know what I'm saying, in the edits. I don't know. I don't care how people make like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a warrior's badge of honor. You feel me? It's like a nigga supposed to come out of battle scarred, bruised, and battered. That's your mark of showing that not only you went through the battle, but you lived through it. You here to tell the story. So I patch Sarada for a chapter or two, her only relying on either just what she has right now or her other Mangekyo ability until the temporary solution is either mentioned, brought up, or comes to fruition. But for right now, Ikimoto has to cook it up. We're definitely not going to get a solution for Sarada if people are thinking this arc.
Mm-mm.
Highly, highly doubt it. So it'll be interesting to see.
100%.
Yeah,
And,
and
and
I
you know,
agree. I agree with you totally 100%. Like, I pass Sarda, her relying on her other abilities rather than fully relying on her Mangekyo or her Sharingan, or maybe she learns a way to enhance her Sharingan in a way to where the Mangekyo is needed, but it's not something that she's going to have to lean on in the future.
Yeah.
I
She can
agree.
always just use it also
Hmm.
just like basic, like Sasuke uses Mangekyo without using his Mangekyo abilities. He could use it for regular Sharingan shit. It's just like, I mean, it's dumb, but like, hey, that's also
Yeah,
a
I mean,
possibility.
does it enhance like the Sharingan abilities as far as like being
Every
to
yeah, yeah, you get a basic jump in chakra,
Yeah.
strength, and all of that
besides
stuff.
that, being able to like predict movements and stuff like that, like does it enhance that as well?
It should be a basic amp compared to the Sharingan, so she should still be able to get a boost just by having it on. We know that in Koji's prescience, when she's supposedly facing Hidari, she does have her Mangekyo Sharingan on. I'll bet we can only see her left eye. I'm pretty sure, but I feel like Eye Patch Sarada works even if her eye didn't explode, especially if she does have a second ability, which
Or
I hope she
sunglass
does.
Sarada. She just walk around with shades all
Ninja
day.
walking around looking like Cyclops and shit.
For real.
I hope she does have a second ability because if we follow the train of thought, not not every Uchi has a second ability. In cases with Obito, he had a long range Kamui and he had a short range Kamui. They were both still Kamui, but in
Right.
Sasuke's family specifically, he had two abilities.
Yeah.
Itachi had two abilities. He had Tsukuyomi in one eye and Amaterasu in the
I
other.
mean, Obito, he did have two abilities, even though they both was Kamui. Both of
Yeah,
them
so it's
served
like one was
different.
a long range one, and one
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
short range one.
exactly. So they
So it was
both
just
was
different
Kam.
principles
Right,
of the same
exactly.
jutsu. So I feel like it would be nice if we're told she can't use Ohirume anymore, or else she will lose all her eyesight, or it's just too draining. And she pulls up a second ability. Now, of course, we know that she would already have to know that ability, so it would be kind of maybe weaker. I wouldn't say weaker than Ohirume, but it wouldn't be as destructive. So I think it would be cool to see her learn different tactics with a potential other Mangekyo ability that's not necessarily as destructive, but it makes her more, I don't want to say unique, but it just makes her more, what's that word? I'm trying to blank on the word. Uh
I was gonna say
I
unique.
can't find it for you either.
I was like, fuck, I don't know what the fuck you gonna say if it's not unique.
I don't either. Yeah, I can't. I can't even think of a word for you.
I don't know, something like,
Why unique though? Why was you leaning towards that word? Maybe we can help you out.
hang on, I'm just drawing up, like I know the word but I just can't remember the word. I'll come back to that. But
Okay.
it would be nice to see her use a different technique compared to Ohirume and just supplement that with her base abilities. Plus, I feel like it ties along with what Madara said way back then: is an Uchiha's true power only manifests with both eyes. If she's locked to one eye right now, it
Mm.
would make her potentially getting an Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan or just the solution even better. Because now you'll finally see Sarada at her peak with her using both of her eyes.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
one eye bleeding only indicating that she is using one eye?
Yes and no. If you go over the lore, yes, with like people like, well, it's strong arguments because these two examples are her family members, so it's like disingenuous to not rely on that heavy example. So like with Sasuke and Itachi, both of them, but with Itachi, like in his case, his eye definitely bled whenever he used Amaterasu. Um, I have to go back into the lore to
Both
see if
eyes?
it did with Tsukiyomi, but with Sasuke, his eye bled specifically whenever he used Amaterasu, not when he used flame control though. So I would say yes and no, but also it depends on like the strain of the ability. So
Oh, but also, side note, I remember the word. Funny enough.
All right, go ahead.
Versatile. Versatile. It would
Oh,
make her
okay, yeah, okay,
versatile.
okay. Unique and versatile is like
I
way
don't
two
know
different
why
words.
my
I mean,
brain just
I
stopped.
see the correlation.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see where you're going with it, but yeah, that's two different words.
That's why I said I didn't want to say unique. My brain just like forgot that word for a moment.
But
Because
go ahead. No,
oh
continue. My
no,
bad. I
but
thought you.
my last point was it would
Mhm.
be interesting to see her use a technique that's more niche because right now she's just been kind of spamming Ohirume, and it's been such an overpowered ability to where it just has widespread destruction to where I want to see something smaller, but not necessarily useless, just something more niche for this situation, for these upcoming situations.
Yeah, true. Nah, I was seeing on X on Boruto X that some people were suggesting that maybe should it could be a possibility that now she focuses more on her genjutsu.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like Genjutsu went out with Kurenai. Genjutsu is it's a lost skill. It feels like it's useless to be honest.
No, I
Because at
mean it
this
depends on what the genjutsu is. Every genjutsu is not equal to it's not equal is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. So like for instance, Itachi's genjutsu when he put Kakashi in that's leagues above oh girl that you just mentioned. Can't remember her name off the top of my head. But yeah, it's
True or
leagues
not?
above that. So yeah, Kurenai. So like if Sarada is using Mangekyo Genjutsu and she's using a level of the Mangekyo that's maybe at a level higher than her predecessors, there's a possibility that her Genjutsu could be tiers above what we've seen in Naruto and Boruto as well.
I feel like it
Yeah.
would have to be something crazy because we've been fighting like all these Otsutsuki type people or all these people with overpowered dojutsus to where Genjutsu, at least visual Genjutsu, is not necessarily the move. And like I have Sasuke as a reference, but there's a reason why Sasuke stopped using Genjutsu against these level of people. So I feel like it would have to be something really unique if we want to revisit Genjutsu. It's been a minute since we actually had Genjutsu in the story. Like that's a lost
Yeah,
art at this point.
it's because of the level of opponents that Sasuke was facing. If you have
Yes.
Sarada, whose Genjutsu is like leagues above Sasuke's, then the potential is there for her to be able to use it against like the claw grind. Oh, not the claw grind. I'm sorry. The
The
Shinju.
opponent.
Yeah, the Shinju, whether it be Bug or whoever, he's simple minded. Like a Genjutsu could probably work on him
What
where she can
if? What if?
control his mind or some shit like that. Like I don't think it's going to be used or we're going to see anything like that in like the Mamushi fight or anything like that. But that's just an example that I'm trying to throw.
If what if it's like it's an optic jutsu that operates like where the chakra emitted from her left Mangekyo Sharingan eye is emitted in a unique way to where within a certain range, I don't know, I guess we could say the same range her four spears can span. Of Sarada's visual prowess, anybody who's looking into her eyes or anybody she gazes upon, like they could become slowsy or drowsy or sleepy. I don't know. I just thought about
I
that
like
shit
that.
because it's like because Ryzen said Loki. I'm like, Genjutsu Loki is lame. But then I'm like, damn, Ikimoto added a twist on Amaterasu. What if he do the same thing for Tsukiyomi? He makes it more like practical, where she can be active with it, and it just dulls the opponent's movements, no matter who you are. But giving her something crack like that, we might have to go the whole same thing like we did with Hirume. It might be chakra drainage. She's probably gonna use it like once or two times. So
Or it's just niche enough to like be
Or
useful for
it's
like one or
like,
two battles.
or it's kind of like her gravity manipulation, where she puts them in a genjutsu to where they feel like they're moving slow as hell, and like gravity is just like
oh,
insane
but they're
for them,
not
but they're
actually moving
not
slow.
actually moving slow
Yeah.
and shit like that. Like some a
I
genjutsu like that where it could correlate with her left eye or her right eye,
yeah.
whatever.
See, I think that's a good idea. It has if it's gonna be a genjutsu, like something like you said, or like my first idea, it has to be something that's very practical that she can apply actively, like in battle as well, not just the whole like take you into another world like her uncle Genjutsu, because
100%.
it'll be a little bit too,
And it can't really be too overpowered because we gotta remember she if she does have a second ability, which I do think she might. This is a decent chance. She has to already know what that power is. It's not something she can just unlock because as an Uchiha, she does know what her Mangekyo can do. That's why I've seen some people say that maybe she has a self healing ability, but the problem with that is if she did, she would have already used it because it's something she would have to know. So we can't go too crazy with her second ability because I feel like it would need to be niche. Because if it's not niche and it's useful in like almost every circumstances, why didn't she use it in this situation? I feel like
It's like spamming Sean Yushin and fucking Street Fighter. It's like, hey,
It's
I
like
probably do got the Hadoka, but you know what I'm saying? This is no
exactly. So it would have to be something that's not necessarily useful for this Mamushi situation. Because if it is, you run the risk of Ikamoto having to explain, oh, why didn't she use it in the Mamushi situation? And then it becomes a
yeah,
situation, oh, you just never asked. Because it's not, it can't be something she never unlocked.
yeah. And if it's something that has a limited, so like say running with if we're just running with the Genjutsu idea, and if it has a limited thing, right? Where one, let's just say criterias are she's not taking your opponent into another world, meaning the effects of this jutsu is within real world time despite it attacking your mind, but also two, both users will still be able to like move in some way. So like with free game said, like maybe she makes you think you're moving slow. So like you're not in a different world, but for some reason your mind and body aren't correlating because of the Genjutsu she's casting, or something like I said, where boom, because of the field of range you're in within her Mangekyo being active, you now moving more sluggish, or you feeling more tired, or your body is just something like that. But regardless of the details aside, something that's very practical and within the world where maybe if an opponent is hit with it, they get fucked up for a few times. Let's just say she doesn't finish them off or one shot them, boom, they can figure their way out around it. Or, you know what I'm saying, try to get around it easier than where it's like I haven't seen a motherfucker figure out a Hurume. Damon just said, fuck it, just don't activate that whole like let's just let her not activate it. So Damon's the only person who showed us what you would have to do. And unfortunately, not everybody's Damon. So
And you know, I feel like if she does have a second ability, it would be cool if it's not as chakra intensive. Like you know,
yeah,
there would still be a train just because a strain just because it's a Mangekyo ability and she doesn't have the EMS. But it would be nice to see something that's it's still a problem, but it's less of a strain on her to where she could use it a couple times before she does go blind. Because we know
mhm.
Susanoo right now is most likely out of the question. Because that might be a minute. Like even Sasuke had trouble manifesting
Oh yeah,
Susanoo
well,
until
right now, yeah, that's
yeah.
definitely like not even a yeah.
Because Sasuke couldn't even really do a full Susanoo transformation until he got the EMS. Like the second he tried to cloak his his Mangekyo against Kakashi, his Sharingan just gave up.
This shit
Just
gave
yeah,
out
that
completely.
free trial expired.
Yeah.
He really said, "I gotta go get Itachi's eyes ASAP." So I don't think we'll be seeing Susanoo in the next few chapters. That's just I feel like that's just
Oh,
too
absolutely not. No,
straining.
too straining.
When she's running
Definitely.
on fumes, she really only has like a battle or two left with her
If
crew.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, based off of Kashin Koji's facial expression at the end of the chapter, it looks like Sarada being in the current position that she's in is probably not that all
Yeah, one
surprising to
hundred
her.
percent. Like, and you know that might be a situation to where it becomes a deal breaker for Boruto because now Koji is willingly putting Sarada in danger for the mission, and Boruto wouldn't let that slide, especially with Sarada, especially when he thinks about what Sasuke asked of him.
Yeah, I agree. I do. I think it'll be a little bit more. It's a little bit more leeway though in this situation on Kashin Koji's side because technically speaking, it was Shikamaru's plan. And I know, I've seen a lot of people say like, "Oh, Boruto's gonna
And at
be
the
pissed."
same time, like as you guys said in previous podcasts, he just sees like glimpses. He doesn't see it play by play at the same
Yeah,
time. So you
yeah. So
possibly see that.
I've been seeing them say like this could possibly be. I think the division is coming between the two, but I don't think this situation with Sarada is gonna
Oh yeah,
sting it because it's
facts.
like Boruto knows right now everybody's in the field, and Shikamaru came up with the last minute plan. He was like, "Sarada, you're the ace in the hole." Sarada was like, "Bet." Everybody, I was saying, nobody held her at gunpoint and say, "Hey, use your ability on Hirume to take out 20 Shinjus before you actually
And
need
she
it in the plan."
calculated and was like, "Hey, I can probably take out this many."
And she herself said, she like, "Look, nigga, I could take off 50 of them." I'm like, "Bet." You hear a nigga like me, she come on, I'm like, "Say less."
Instead of thinking, damn, I just used this not too long ago. Let me tell them like 20 of them. Like,
You know what I'm
I,
saying? She could have brought this shit down to like 15, 20. She was like, right
exactly.
yeah.
now, I could probably
I
do 15, 20.
I feel like that situation is more so stamina and how the technique works. I think she just didn't realize how draining a second attempt would be.
Oh, no, no,
She
that's
never
for
did
sure
two.
Yeah,
She
the
never
fact
did
of what
two
happened.
attempts.
yeah,
She
because
She
just
I
only
didn't.
did it
Yeah.
once every
because I feel
time.
like she's competent enough to factor in. She needs okay 60% of her chakra. her chakra should be back to normal now. So she's thinking about it in a situation of chakra cost, but not stamina cost, because Sasuke was in a similar situation where his Sharingan was just dying out when he was still trying to use it. So I think it's more so of a stamina issue, and the stamina just multiplies the more you use it. And if I had to use an example, and again, this is just my opinion on it, if you guys seen Dragon Ball Super, when
Of
Vegeta used
course.
Super Saiyan Blue during the Universe 6 tournament, the second time he tried to use it, he couldn't bring out Super Saiyan Blue's full power because
Hmm.
it immensely the first attempt had drained his stamina to a
Yeah.
point where he couldn't just use blue consistently at that point in
Yeah.
time. So I think
Yeah.
it's a similar type of situation where she just didn't know the strain using it multiple times would have. And I feel like
Yeah, she just got it too. Like she just got
exactly.
adapted to it as well.
And
And
I feel
then
like
Yeah.
a similar example would be when Kakashi was teaching Sasuke Chidori, and he told him your limit is 2 times. Using it a third time, it will either end badly or it just won't work.
Yeah.
yeah. And then like what let's like we can dive into the next topic because it's kind of like leads into the question I wanted to ask regarding this topic. Um, what do you think? Like, if Himawari would have healed her, do you think that would have healed? Does that heal chakra as well, or does that like just heal wounds?
Just wounds. She'll probably stop the flesh wound from bleeding. Like she probably like that's what I'm thinking is happening because of the way it's set up. You see how Konohamaru runs up and he's like, yo, Boruto, is Sarada okay? Okay, copy. I know why Konohamaru's here. He's gonna take Sarada to safety. We know why he's here now. All right, so off screen, either he takes her to safety as is, or Himawari heals her eye quickly on the field. Sarada remains passed out, and boom, Konohamaru just takes her off screen. But I don't think Himawari can like heal her and then saw her open her eyes. She's like, oh shit, 2020. She's like, nah, I
Yeah,
don't think it's gonna be like that.
No, I
I
mean I meant before she used it the second time.
Oh, do I think she no, because we see that she was traveling. They were with Team 10 and they were the last one. They didn't even make it to the house when the plan was going on, right? Because they were the last ones there. And Boruto took like a roundabout way, leading all of the Mamushi to them. And we see Kawaki, Sarada, and Delta were the last ones to arrive, where Ada, Damon were floating above the house. Mitsuki was down there below. And we see Kawaki start talking to Shikamaru on comms and Sarada on comms. And then Shikara's like, oh, we're almost there. And we see them running in the distance. So it's like they weren't
and,
even there next to each other.
and let's argue for argument's sake. Himori heals Sarada. Hell, she even gives Sarada some chakra like Naruto back in the day. That wouldn't necessarily fix her Mangekyo Sharingan's blindness, because that's a
Okay.
separate issue. If we remember, when Karin would heal Sasuke, that never fixed his eyes.
Just give him more
We also
chakra
got to
that
remember
fucked them up
there's
more.
exactly,
It
and we got to
gives
remember
more
there's
time
also
to fight. Yeah, get back into the
exactly,
battle. Yeah,
and there's also a stamina situation. Even if you heal the body, you're not necessarily healing your stamina. Your body still goes through
kind
a
of
lot of
seems like
strain.
Corona was healing his stamina in some type of way too, because he came back into battle like full force. He didn't come back as a person who was winded or anything like that.
But
Remembering the battle correctly.
think about it like this though, for game. It's like I used to do a whole lot of sports in high school, right? So say it's like in
Likewise,
the middle. You said what?
likewise.
Like basketball. Oh, you said likewise. Oh, I thought you said
Basketball,
like what?
track, football.
But yeah, like so, like let's say a nigga have, you know what I'm saying, week of practice, you know what I'm saying? Just say we got no games that week. You got a game on Tuesday. Say we play the game Tuesday. I play the game Tuesday. Nice. Do what I do. Boom. After the game, ice my knees, ice my leg. Say we got a game on Wednesday. Am I gonna be as fresh as I was on Tuesday, despite resting and healing up after game on Tuesday for Wednesday's game? Nah, because I just played Tuesday. My
I
stamina probably,
don't know. I
you know
used
what
to
I'm
play
saying?
But
I used to
adding
have
that
a
to
game. I used to have a game, and then the next day I'd be playing outside, busting ass. I
That I
don't
mean,
know.
that's how it be, nigga. You have a game, and if it's in the daytime, we game our game is over, and it's still light outside, nigga. We're probably playing pickup later that day, yes. But on a
I'm
actual
just
like
joking. I get what you're
gameplay
saying.
level,
I get
I
what you're
know, I know what you mean though. On the gameplay level though, it's like you're just not there.
saying.
You
Yeah.
could you could feel your stamina drain quicker than it would have. Let's say you didn't play any games 3 days prior versus you just played yesterday. Even though you had a good night's rest, all that, boom, you know, like damn, I just played yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's easier. It's probably quicker. You know what I'm saying? Coach took me out 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Now, tonight, back to back, he's going to take me out 4 minutes, 30 minutes, 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? Get an extra minute of rest just because of the back to back. So it's
Yeah.
like stuff like that. Like with Sarada, I think even if Himawari would have healed her, say boom, she's able to open her eyes. She don't see four deltas no more. It's just one delta walking next to her. And she feels cool, but it's like soon as she activated that jutsu, instead of that shit draining at the pace of like 4, this shit started draining at a pace of 8. She was like, damn.
But we
She
also
wasn't
gotta
ready
remember,
for
like
that.
adding on to Black Uchiha's a thought process, Naruto was just a freak. He had just a crazy ton of stamina, but
Hmm.
even he got tired. Like look at Jigen. He still had chakra to spare. He still had Kurama's chakra to spare. He was still out cold even when Boro was fighting. Like there's limits to it. Even when he was fighting Delta, he was still winded. And just to add on, we gotta remember, look at Himawari when she healed Inojin. He wasn't necessarily back to full stamina. He was still out of it.
Nah, nigga was out.
It-
I
he
fallen
I
was
mean,
like
taking.
that's a different type of. Well, I mean, I guess I hear what you're saying, but I was
But
about to say
also
that's a
even
different type of injury. He got stabbed right through the fucking like torso. There's no way
but
he.
then there's
that
also
is definitely fair.
for example, Boruto. Boruto got knocked out cold. Himawari healed him, and it still took him a few hours to wake up.
Mm.
The
This
only
nigga
one
woke up
who,
in an interrogation room.
yeah, the only real person who was still awake when they got healed was Sarada, and that was
Mm.
only really because she was still awake. I feel like in this situation, once you're out cold, you're not necessarily gonna wake up just by getting an infusion of Himawari's chakra. And if it depends on the injury, like you said, that means that Himawari is not necessarily healing you to full health. So it's either I
She
feel like
needs
it's
to
either
learn how
stamina.
to. She needs to learn how to share chakra like Naruto did in the war arc. No, seriously.
I mean, that would be really cool. Just have everyone pull up with a Nine Tails cloak.
Or she just gave Sarada the Nine Tails cloak before she did the Orihime.
That'd have been wild.
But yeah, as far as her like healing Sarada and stuff like that, that's a done deal. Like that's none and void. Like that wouldn't help her out in any type of way. Even if she healed her eye, it wouldn't bring back like the stamina or the damage that she caused when she used it this last time.
No, for sure not. If so,
Mm.
Karin would have been sold to Sasuke's eye probably. But
Mm.
so
Yeah, true.
so it's gonna be interesting to see how Ikimoto solves the issue. That's why I'm like, people are complaining. I'm like, bro, this is like great because now it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? I'm intrigued. So like, please give me
Exactly.
iPad Sarada for a chapter or two. Don't miss out on this opportunity, Ikimoto. I don't want to see her next chapter. Both of her eyes there. She batted her eyes and her eyelashes through them damn glasses. I'm like, oh yeah, Sarada. Yeah, you know,
Plus,
give me
plus,
iPad Sarada.
I feel like if we just if we had sped run her development, she wouldn't learn anything. We would just get a free EMS when that's never been something they've done in Naruto. There's always been a cost to power for the most part. Sasuke did it. Naruto did it. So there are consequences, and for Sarada, for being an Uchiha, blindness is just a consequence. He'll have to learn how to fight. Uh, to fight regardless of having her vision fade, and then at some point figure out a solution. That's when she'll gain more resolve and come out a better fighter and a better shinobi for it.
Facts. Yeah, I think this is definitely gonna make her stronger, bro. It's like you happens when you put a fucking diamond under pressure, man. We already know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So Sarada about to come out of this. You know what I'm saying? Just for a reference, culture reference sake, my nigga Peter Parker. You know they say in the trailer there's 3 stages to the spider: the egg, the spiderling, hatchling, and then the adult spider. She's gonna hatch into her adult spider form. So we just got to
Now,
give her time.
question: do we think Ikamoto will give her a new fit? Because so far, whenever a character has gotten through a great change or got a power up, they've seemed to switch fits. Inojin did it, Himawari did it, Boruto did it, Kawaki did it.
I was about to
Do
say low key. I think he would. I think he should have. He was supposed to back when she unlocked her Mangekyo. But if you look at the interviews,
I mean, she kind of
Sarada's
got
the
a new
only
fit.
character. Sarada's the only character that he mentions how much he likes her design. So
he
I
just
don't
doesn't want
think.
to change it. He
Yeah, I was
can't
about to say I
top
don't
it.
think that nigga would have changed it, bro.
Like he didn't give her a new fit though when she got the Mangekyo. It was still
That's
the
what I'm
same
saying.
thing.
He didn't. That would have been her time because every person, like when Ryzen mentioned, all of their fit changes came at moments like when Sarada got her Mangekyo, when they got a different power up and they became useful in the battle, or they just came to the battlefield differently. Like Sarada or like Kawaki came back, he had now fit more reminiscent of his part one self. Boruto got a new sword, boom, he got a black inside out jacket and changed the flannel. Inojin came back to life. Nigga said, fuck it, I'm finna hit up Forever 21, got some new drip. Himawari found out she was connected to Karama. She said, finally, I can use these clothes that been hanging in my closet the whole time.
Mm-hmm,
So, nigga, you
mm-hmm.
can motivate. I ain't gonna lie. Sorry, the shit hard, bro. Let me just let it rock out for a little
Well,
bit.
maybe we can point to this. Like she already unlocked her Mangekyo before the time skip,
Or
so
that too.
we can equate um her time skip change, her outfit change to her power up change.
And
She
Sasuke was
just suiting up.
rocking those multiple fits
Oh yeah,
ever
that's
since part one. Like every time he'd go through a change, he'd get a new fit, one, two, three, four.
and then we kind of got like Sarada's revealed the Mangekyo and TBV. Like it was spur of the moment. She didn't even have it yet. Like so she didn't have time to go shopping with.
Yeah.
Yeah, she ain't have to go time. She ain't had time to go shopping.
But the only person that literally still made nigga Damon was in a
She
whole
couldn't go
onesie.
grab Chocho and be like, "Hey, Chocho, hey, my Mangekyo unleashed. It's time
Bro,
for an
Damon
outfit."
Damon was in a whole onesie, bro. They was like, bet we finna bring all the Mamushi to Ada. He said, say less. Grabbed a whole new fit. Even
I
Damon
got
went to
time.
the
He
closet.
really said, "I got time."
He said, I got time literally. So I don't know. He might be able to
And,
we might see her come back with a new fit. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see
Is it
what he
a new
does.
fit or is it the same fit before he put the
Nah,
onesie
it's
on?
a whole new fit. It's a brand new
Okay.
fit. Cause this one got the stripes across the chest. His original fit had like 5 stars going down the middle.
Oh, it's because it was time for him to become the knight. That's why.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey,
Yep. Yep.
Boruto's out here homeless. He still gets clothes. He still gets that Amazon shipment or something. I don't know. He's still getting fits.
Man, I can't wait to see how they animate the Mamushi versus Damon fight.
Oh, that's gonna be. I feel like that'll be peak.
Only reason why I say that is because when I watched it in the manga, I was so hyped to see Damon fight. Even though I be shitting on Damon a lot, I do appreciate the character, and his role in the story as being the strongest and stuff like that. And them waiting a long time to actually have him battle in a significant fight, but we only got a couple panels, and I was like, that's all we get of this.
I'm thinking low key, like you're right. And I'm also thinking too, because this is like something that came to me the other day. I'm like, this might be other than like seeing him take out another few next chapter. That
Mhm.
might be it for Damon versus Mamushi. I think even Boruto might be the one to finish the deed. So the
The
anime might
thing.
take its liberties and give us a whole nother Kawaki versus Garo when we get Damon versus
Oh,
Mamushi. Because
that brings me up to a point. What do we think will happen to the village perspective if Boruto ends up saving them from Mamushi?
he
Because I
has
feel
to.
like. Oh no, you can go first.
Oh no, I was just gonna say he has to because I thought about it and I thought about it and the fact that Sarada's out, Kawaki's out. It has to be Boruto, especially since, think about it, we got introduced in TBV. Who was the problem solver? Boruto. Boruto
Exactly.
was the one finishing her, and he has not got a job done since he didn't listen to Koji and interrupted the plan and saved Konohamaru. Like he hasn't won a fight since. He's been losing, and it hasn't really been anything going on with the Mamushi clones. And it just works narratively. Say like with the discourse of the public. They're like, damn, yeah, bro, y'all saw those 1,000 clones attacking the village the other day. They say, hey, word on the street is job at the ramen shop said it was Boruto who saved everybody. It
And
has to be something like that to where it's like the discourse happens.
unfortunately, Kawaki's just making Boruto's life seem like he's built bitch. Because think about it this way:
Mhm.
you have the son of the Hokage, quote unquote, just taking a nap. But then it gets even worse for Kawaki if Boruto does beat the Mamushis, because now you have Kobu. Okay, so if this guy killed Lord Seventh and he wants to destroy the village or whatever lies that he's heard, why did he save Kobu? Why
Mm.
did he uh act friendly to the Leaf Ninjas that captured him? And it goes to the point, like, you have all these people in the battlefield that are watching Boruto now. If Boruto ends up beating these Mamushis and he has all this power, why isn't he killing Kawaki or killing them if that's what Kawaki said? So I feel like we might run into a situation where they start to question old facts, like what Damon said. Like if they find out Kawaki lied, it's a wrap for him regardless of omnipotence, because they'll just know he lied about Naruto and Boruto. It'll
Yeah.
just be, oh, the son of the Hokage framed that outsider. So I
Yeah.
wonder how the situation with Kawaki will progress if Boruto starts being seen as a hero, because that'll be a hard thing to spin if they start questioning all these holes.
I mean,
Yeah, but at the same time, like, oh, sorry, no, go ahead, Black.
no, I was just gonna say it would make sense. That's what I said. That
Oh,
was
I
my
was gonna
response.
say, like, it brings back to what you said in previous podcasts. So, like, Sasuke, he saved the whole world, and that didn't really change the perspective of everybody else. Like, you know, the kids thought he was cool and stuff like that, but as far as the higher ups went, you know, they still saw him as, you know, a traitor. They, you know, still really never accepted him as a
That's
Well,
part of
100% fair.
I'll tell you this: only thing that's worse than one Uchiha is two. That's what I have to
That,
say
that is
about that.
100% fair. I think with the Sasuke thing in general, though, you
Uchiha.
have people who are more trustworthy than Sasuke. You have Kawaki and Ada. You're not gonna distrust the son of the Hokage. You're not gonna distrust Ada because of her Senrigan. But if you're seeing these facts go against what you've been believing in, you might just have to start questioning, because this is actions.
Yeah.
Everyone just heard Sasuke left the village again. They didn't hear Sasuke's point of view or why he did it. All they did was hear, oh yeah, Naruto escaped. Oh, Sasuke was seen with him, and there's no
Context.
advocacy. Yeah, context, exactly, context. Better word, exactly. With the Boruto situation, you're gonna have to question at some point, what are Boruto's motives? Even Konohamaru has reached a point to where he's willing to work with Boruto. He's willing to stand with Boruto because things aren't making sense. He's seeing Boruto actively save him, and seeing Boruto actively helping the village.
Yeah.
He might not trust Boruto, but at the very least, he's going to question that something weird is going on. Why is he helping us repeatedly? Why is he not killing Kawaki? Why is he not doing this or that? To where, yes, the village won't trust him, but there'll be small amounts of these higher up people who potentially will. And even Boruto said it. Some people might believe in what I have to say, some won't. All it will do is cause village strife. And I kind of want to see that village strife and that conflict between a divided village.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying.
And
They
that's
want
the
to
great
see
part.
that
It's like,
civil war.
exactly. That's like your point with Sasuke. In Sasuke, there's very few people who would believe him. I'd say I'd count Sakura as someone who would believe in him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what causes that strife. In Boruto's case, there would be a few people that would believe him, but it would be enough to where they start
cause
asking
an
questions.
uproar.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's bad for Kawaki. We don't know how Kawaki will act if people start actively questioning him. He's gone 3 years with people they've been really keeping their distance from Kawaki. And he likes that. He doesn't want Boruto's life. He doesn't want to be questioned. What happens if we put him in a situation where he wants to get stronger, but he keeps being bothered by Kobu or these villagers who want answers and say, you know what? Hang on. We still trust you, Kawaki, but let's run back 3 years ago. Can you tell us exactly what happened 3 years ago? Because we're kind of starting to question that there's something else going on, and I want to see how that potentially pushes Kawaki over the edge.
I'll tell you what happens if that happens to
That could probably
Kawaki.
be the reason why he destroys the village, and that's why we got that flash forest scene. But no, go
That
ahead,
nigga
Black.
Kawaki, he gonna run because we forget when we introduced to the nigga, he was introduced as Kara organizations and Konoha Leaf Village's #1 potential track star. Because we met the nigga, he was on the run. When we figured out his issue, he told us he was running. He got to the village, he met Naruto, the nigga tried to run. Everything game sweet, everybody accepted him, and then he started being cautious. He's like, fuck it, what can I do? I'ma run. And then he goes on and sells Naruto, figures that he gonna try to stand on business, realize he can't stand on business. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna run. So when the nigga gets under pressure, he
This
runs.
guy.
So that's in his nature. So if things start to look really shaky and they start questioning, yo, is Naruto alive? Kawaki, can you run us by this thing you said last time? Like what actually happened or things like this nature? And then he starts thinking about Damon's voice and this nigga gonna run. Next thing you know, front page news. Naruto's son missing. Where is he? You know what I'm saying? Nigga's gonna run. He's a runner.
Yeah,
He's
they're
gonna
really
be on
gonna
a milk
say
carton.
they're really gonna say we shouldn't have trusted you when you cheated on the tuning exams. Man,
Literally. And then
the
he gonna
dude's
start
still
having
wanting his dad's attention.
PTSD. He gonna be like, I'm getting blamed for stuff I didn't do. How ironic, right, Kawaki? And he's not gonna be able to handle the heat. He's gonna run. So the nigga's a runner. But in all reality though, when Kawaki gets put under pressure, you don't want to see the results of what's about to come next. He's irrational, especially when he hasn't thought things through, and especially if he feels like not only he has a point to prove, but this situation calls for action, and he has to be the one to act. So,
Yeah,
whenever something like that occurs, Kawaki's going to make a dangerous and drastic decision.
he's fight or flight for sure.
Yeah, heavy on capital F for fight or capital F for flight. Nigga, heavy both
And
ways. You don't know.
I think like Spider-Man, Kawaki works best when he's at his lowest. Funny enough. Where do we think he'll go from here? Because hypothetically, if he sees Boruto being able to control this power, because we gotta remember, in Kawaki's eyes, he won't potentially know. Like if Momoshiki behaves in this arc, which I hope he does, because I feel like it makes Boruto's potential fall seem more earned. But if Momoshiki behaves and Boruto does save the day, all Kawaki will see as a stronger threat to himself and to Lord Seventh,
Oh
but
yeah.
everyone else will see a hero. I wonder where Kawaki moves on from this. Will he double down and try for more power, even though it might potentially just break his body down? Or will he actually take a step back and see what he can do to actually fix his body up?
He might. Remember what
Ain't gonna
happened
lie.
when Kawaki felt like, okay, everybody is crazy because I'm trying to kill Boruto and they're blaming me. So it might be another situation where, like, okay, not only do they all think he's me, but they're still trying to help this nigga. So yeah, y'all are crazy. I wasn't the crazy one. So
I
he's
mean, I
gonna
mean it's
double
really
down.
funny though because to Mitsuki, Boruto is still Kawaki in his eyes, and he was willing to do a complete 180. So I think the issue is just Kawaki's personality at this point.
Yeah, it's not aligning with their memories. If Ikimoto's gonna play so heavy on the memories, it's the fact that both Boruto and Kawaki's actions are contradicting both of their paths. So people should notice that, especially people who spent a significant or a very impactful slash meaningful amount of time with either or character. So these clues are
100%.
heavily noticeable.
And I think it just goes back to what Ada said. You got to make new memories. I mean, even if your memories are telling you this is what it is, you can still make your own decisions.
Yeah,
Konohamaru
literally.
might not believe Boruto's the son of the seventh, but he can make his own opinions when it comes to the person that Boruto is. And in his mind, he's starting to see that Boruto is a good person. Maybe there's something else going on, and I feel like I can put my trust in Boruto.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's most likely gonna have to be the case. As far as like let's say, all right, yeah, he does, however the villagers react. Getting it done though, because I had an idea about this, how Boruto can even save the day. And I've seen a lot of interesting theories because people are like, oh, since they were relying on Sarada, it makes sense that they're going to need another person who has a wide AoE to finish off the job or to shave off the numbers. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But then I'm like, wait, if Boruto has to be the one to finish the job, hypothetically, if I'm Ikimoto and I have what I have, let's say you still want to save something big for a Jura reveal, what can I do for Boruto to help him, get out on top and make it still work? And I'm like, realistically speaking, this sounds like headcanon, but I've come to two conclusions. One, the most likely scenario is going to be something that Kashin Koji either foresaw or he wanted to happen, or he foresaw and he didn't want this to happen. And we're just going to go down that route. Two, Boruto saves the day. And specifically how is once he activates that karma, you know what I'm saying? This is a little detail, but in a good way, I think he can either severely shave down the numbers or defeat Mamushi in one fell swoop, and it works to fit the end of the arc where like he activates a karma seal. Let's say he flies above the sky over the 1000 Mamushi, because now that handily enough they're all gathered in one place, boom, he gets like five shuriken out, uses transformation jutsu on all five of them, summons them into like 1000 or at least 500 shuriken throws them all across the crowds of Mamushi. Two shadow clones, motherfucking karma sealed amped up shadow clones. Have one specifically designated for giant Rasengans and have all three of the shadow clones flying Raijin across the fucking battlefield, two slicing and dicing, one giant Rasengans. Now it works because Minato, his grandpa, could do something like this, but it would just be Minato by himself. With three shadow clones plus a karma sealed amp and a Byakugan, it's like, well, Boruto's using all of these things at his disposal just to take down 1,000 clones. And let's say he doesn't even take down the whole 1,000. But I believe that's effective enough. Like, think of it like a Satoru Gojo in the Shibuya incident arc type of situation where it's like, fuck, he's into some shit and he has a means of finishing the job, but it's gonna have to be within this specific time frame so we can have a good sequence, especially think if it's animated where it's like, all right, Boruto takes like solid 3-4 minutes, straight up OST playing in the background, and he's just flying Raijin across all of the fucking Mamushi and destroying them like that. I think that's the
it
easiest
gotta
way
be
to shave
tag
the
I
numbers
team.
right
love
now.
that.
It gotta be tag team him and Damon.
It got it. That's
Ooh,
what I'm saying. It has to, at the very least, Boruto. Because plus, also, I've seen people bring it up more because I've been complaining about it, but now people are bringing it up more. Where the fuck your shadow clones at, my nigga? Boruto, where your shadow clones at? Now, Boruto, we give it up. Like,
Well,
yeah,
it's
Naruto, a
because
thousand clones. You said what?
mostly his training was with Sasuke. Sasuke doesn't really utilize the shadow clones. I mean, I know he was trained with Naruto as well. He still used the Rasengan, but he learned his Uchiha style, and it seems like he relies more on that than his father's training.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making. So I'm like, people have been bringing it up more. Like, oh shit, he doesn't even use shadow clones. How can he? Like, obviously, he's operating at a level of strength where he probably wouldn't need it, or it's impractical. He doesn't summon hundreds like his dad. Does he have the chakra means to do so now? Yes, probably. But he's grown up efficiently using 5 shadow clones. So in a most practical way, if you're looking down 1,000 clones and you're Boruto and you got a karma amp, all right, I'm not known for summoning more than like 10 clones, so I'm not even from the OD. 3 clones, boom. Each of the clones throw mad of your shurikens across the entire field of Mamushi. Y'all all got Karma Amp and Byakugan amps, and y'all flying Raijin across the battlefield and take them out in the next minute or two. And as they're reacting, it's like, shit, like I say two of them can be like slicing the Mamushi, just going straight for the eyes, and one of them can use giant Rasengans or massive Rasengans as they're flying riding. So it causes confusion and discombobulation amongst the crowd of Mamushi. So like one half, he's like, damn, I'm just 1 minute I'm here, next thing my heads are getting sliced off, another half, he's just looking around at explosions. So
I
and
love
plus it
that.
shows like, the versatility Boruto would have. And if he manages to leave at least like 20 to 30 over, it can be the same plan like how it was with Damon and Sarada, but instead with someone like Boruto and Himawari. Himawari play backup, do the cleanup whoever Boruto misses out on.
Wait, I
So
love that. I love that. I'm glad you mentioned the Himawari because I kind of want it to be a tag team of Himawari and Boruto because if we remember, Himawari is in danger too in this arc. Somehow, some way, some
facts.
why, she does die. And part of me thinks it might be a situation of her trying to defend Kawaki. But if we're in a situation where Boruto right now is mentally nerfed because of Sarada, who's the only person that can get him out of his emotions?
Himawari.
Himawari. And this is why I really hope Momoshiki stays in the back end and
And he has
he
to
stays
stay
well
dormant.
behaved
Yes, he has to.
because it would be much more worthwhile if Boruto gains that trust with everyone. And then we get Momoshiki to come out. Because if he just does it now, for the most part, everyone will just see Boruto's exactly the type of person they thought. And I feel like Momoshiki does need to stay in the back end. And this is just my headcanon. But I would really love a situation where just like how Naruto and Boruto had their like parent and child Rasengan against Momoshiki, we get a situation of Boruto and Himawari doing something together, and then we can even add Kurama and finally figure out what Kurama's point of view in all of this is. Is he
Yeah.
affected by omnipotence? Does he know what's been going on, or does he know that Boruto is the son of Naruto? And it would be nice to see a little like memory situation, like what happened with Naruto sharing his chakra with Boruto. And I feel like it would be it would be a missed opportunity not to eventually have a brother sister team. It doesn't necessarily have to
I
happen
mean,
now.
Boruto sharing this chakra with Kurama. I mean, with Himawari.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or something similar to where they combine their jutsus, and it doesn't have to happen in this arc. But I feel like there are two heavy hitters right now. Like if we count Delta out, they're the only two that we really have right now, unless I'm forgetting something.
No, it's just Delta, Himawari, and Boruto.
Yeah, so like I feel like it would be nice to see them both working together, especially right now with Boruto being so vulnerable. Who's the only person that can make Boruto actually stand up right now? His sister. If she's in danger, he will pull up, and that's why I really hope Momoshiki doesn't do anything, because I feel like we still need Boruto to be in the driver's seat so he can gain that trust and he can gain people who care about him. And I feel like it'll make that fall just a lot sweeter once Momoshiki actually comes out. That's just my thoughts about it.
Nah, you're right. If Momoshiki pops up this arc, it's I will do. Let me not lie. I will be disappointed. I think it's a missed opportunity because I believe Ikimoto has tricked us into thinking Boruto wasn't going to be the one to finish off Mamushi. And it reminds me, it's like, well, every Shinju thus far has been finished off by a irrational, you know what I'm saying, person. Like when we first got introduced to these people, half of the matchups that we had lined up never even occurred.
Exactly.
We got Sarada killing Ryu. Who the fuck thought they were even going to meet each other? You know, so it's like
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking like,
True.
damn, maybe it won't be Damon, and maybe it doesn't have to be Damon to kill Mamushi, and maybe
Right.
it is Boruto, right? And it does so much more. Honestly, narratively speaking, it would do a lot for Damon. He protects his sister, yes, but for the story, would it do more if Boruto defeats Mamushi and sees how the village reacts and the repercussions that come from that, and especially if it's widely known and understood, Boruto saved the village and defeated Mamushi. You know, I think it would do more for the story that way.
Exactly. I
And it'll
agree. And
be it will be kind of foreshadowing for when Boruto first saw the Shinju. Bug was the first one to attack him.
Oh yeah,
So
and Bug
yeah.
was the first. That is true. Damn, I didn't even real. Yes, you are right. Free game too.
And I feel like it would be a nice payoff, because if we think about it, the only one who had a nice showing against the Divine Tree was Sarada. I'm sure Boruto got his win against Matsuri, but that was kind of a backhanded situation. If
Literally.
Sarada is gonna go and fight Hidari on a full type of fight, uh, and we go under the assumption that Jura won't be beaten by Boruto, I would want Boruto to at least have one like nice fight that he actually wins. And what better way to do it than to beat Mamushi? And like what Free Game said, he was the first one to target Boruto. And I feel like it would be a cherry on the top if it's Hima fighting with Boruto. We have that brother sister team up, and then we potentially have the village starting to question, why is Boruto helping them? Why is Boruto saving the village? And I feel like that's the key difference between Boruto and Sasuke. Sasuke is a situation to, what have you done for me lately? Sure, you saved the village 15, 16 years ago, but you still did a ton of crazy shit. You haven't really done anything that I can see with my own eyes. Sure, we hear about your actions once in a while, but in this situation, it would be people seeing Boruto actively saving the village. You have to start questioning that. Even if he has ulterior motives, you'd have to at least question, why did he come and save the village? Why did he beat these mamushis? Why did he risk himself repeatedly for the village? And it would be just
Yeah.
nice to see how Kawaki's mentality fractures, because even though he made Boruto an outsider, slowly and steadily, he's still gaining it back. It might not be as it once was. There might still be cracks in the foundation, but he is starting to gain allies and even friends.
Yeah, I think it works too. And to your point that you mentioned, it's like look at every single Shinju battle that doesn't include Jura. Who's been in that battle? It's been Sarada, and she's played a major role in every single one of those battles. So it's like I think someone like Boruto, it would be refreshing and rewarding to see him be the one to defeat the Shinju this go around, because it's like he's done a lot, but it's more so on the level of, oh, Boruto comes through, he saves the day against Himawari, he saves the day against Sarada. Everybody played a role in that Hidari fight, you know what I'm saying? And we seen him play back fiddle until the Jura moment in the Sand Mission. So it's like, he got a lot of shit to do. And I'm pretty sure in Boruto's head, he feels like he's
I mean,
slacking right now.
he did kill Matsuri too.
Even then, he said he shut it down immediately, bro.
True.
Konohamaru took 75% of her body off of the mat, bro.
True.
So it was like he didn't even really need to do
Oh,
nothing.
so you guys are giving some credit to Konohamaru. Okay.
I will, but he still
Oh, oh,
fumbled it.
I'm,
I'll give him the credit, but he
I,
still put everyone in danger. I don't know. Maybe
yeah, I'm
that's
for
just me
sure
as a
gonna give him the credit. But
yeah.
I'm the type of nigga I'm gonna tell people don't get excited or don't get your hopes up. What if Konohamaru does? No, let's celebrate Konohamaru for what Konohamaru does. So when I say shit like, "Oh, he lands on his feet after Jura tosses him," like that's accomplishment for Konohamaru.
I mean
After
he's competent enough to babysit Sarada's body. I guess I don't know
you
what to
know,
say. Like it's just
literally,
it's just unfortunately with Konohamaru, and I've said this before. He's a competent ninja, but he's in the wrong era. That's the problem. Any
yeah,
other era, he would have been peak. Right
yeah,
now, it's just an unfortunate situation of everyone's a super genius that also has a ton of plot. I don't know what else to say. It's just
yeah.
you got Mitsuki, you got Sarada, you got Boruto, and then Konohamaru is cool, but he doesn't got a tailed beast. He hasn't got Orochimaru technology. He doesn't have
He's not even
Boruto's
just like
brain.
he's not even like
and
a, he's
and
just
and
not built
whose
like that.
whose fault is that? It sounds like a personal problem to
It
me.
sounds like it's a Ikimoto problem, but also it sounds like some people may want Konohamaru to be something they're not.
He
It's like if
is.
I were to advocate for Sarada like actively, I would be doing myself a disservice to advocate like Sarada has to be the strongest person in the verse by the end of the series. I'm doing myself a disservice. So the Konohamaru fans, I think the reason why I make fun of them so much is because like y'all are doing yourselves disservices by raising your expectations because you're only gonna get more mad at Ikimoto in the series. But
Exactly.
if you expect what's to be expected, meaning, hey, maybe next chapter, Konohamaru is told, hey, take Sarada to safety, and he fumbles the bag. That might happen.
And,
Okay,
and,
so like we have to be ready for these type of situations.
and Konohamaru's the heart. He's the guy who thinks with his heart, and I think that's his character. Like he's the one who, once you show him uh, what type of person you are, he will advocate for you. I mean, just look at how he advocated to for Boruto. Like it might not be Ninja Tactics 101 where he does wear his heart on his sleeve. But that's the kind of person he is.
Yeah,
Celebrate him for what he is when there comes a time where Boruto's perception is in doubt, when people perceive Boruto in a bad light, he might be the one to step up and advocate for Boruto. And I feel like that fits better than just to make Konohamaru another strength type character where
yeah,
you just want him to body every other villain. I feel like everyone has their spot on the team, and Konohamaru's the heart right now.
literally.
And
Yeah,
side note, like I feel like this would be really cool to have a Himawari
The heart is weak.
Boruto situation.
The heart is weak.
The heart is
He's
really-
about
the heart is
he's,
sweet.
he's
I
about
mean,
to
hey,
get some type
Konohamaru,
of heart
Konohamaru's
failure.
like that dude that you pick up on the team on pickup basketball. You trying to win the game, but it's like you picking up because you fuck with him. Obviously, there's better options on the field, but low key already got a tough squad. I got one more spot. Konohamaru, come on, we got you, gang. You know what I'm saying?
This might be my Konohamaru hate, but he's like the Ebisu. Like you were iffy about him initially, but Ebisu really stepped out emotionally. He stepped up. Like that moment where he was talking about about Naruto in the pain arc, that was cool.
Oh yeah, that is true.
So you were iffy on Konohamaru, but he does have his moments, and I feel like he references a better Ebisu. That just might be my Konohamaru hate, okay? But I do like Ebisu as a character, so
That's-
I'm not shading Konohamaru.
nah, but realistically speaking, though, it just works. It makes sense. Like everybody will have their role to play, and respectively, Konohamaru will have his. But for Boruto, it's like to be the one to defeat Mamushi at this point, like let's say Boruto came through on the Sand Village, he Konohamaru never pulls off the double Rasengan. He pulls up, he has a whole fight with Matsuri, kills her, and then has that whole entire shebang with Jura. On top of everything he's already done, it's like, well, now this nigga's doing all this, and then he comes through and he's the one to save the day against the Mamushi. Realistically speaking, that's like it's cool, but then it's like maybe it can be arguments made. I probably wouldn't be the one to say it, but it could be arguments made for oversaturation of the MC. Like he's coming through to save the day. Now, I don't know why people would say that because part one, it was why doesn't Boruto have his own fights?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And now we're getting his own fights, but hey, that's a whole nother conversation. But still, Now that the story has progressed the way it has, Boruto has done what he's done, and we already know Jura is the monster that he is. And it's like, it's not like he was the one to like within this Mamushi arc alone, the people to really do. I mean, Boruto has one of the highest kill counts for Mamushi, but the people to really be the ones to have their their uh their presence relied upon was ultimately Damon and Sarada. Like Boruto wasn't the one to be like, oh, you're gonna be the one to take him out. Nah, he had the same job as Kawaki, oversee the battlefield and help where your power is needed. Keep it simple. So now that he has a more active role, I think people are like forgetting like his role. It's just that he's the MC, so we're gonna see him do cool things. We got to see the karma, so we got to see the Byakugan. But his role has been as an overseer this whole arc. So for him to step in now, it's main character energy,
Exactly.
and it works. It works very
Exactly. And
well.
to add on your point, I don't think it's like you said. I don't think it's oversaturation because we got to remember, if omnipotence is still going to be in effect for a while, right? You need to put Boruto in a situation to where he does gain
So much good.
village support.
Yeah, he
Exactly.
needs to do a lot of good. Yeah.
Exactly. And there needs to be a situation where Kawaki falls from grace. Omnipotence is a cop out. If omnipotence gets reversed fully, it just makes everything easier for Boruto. It doesn't matter if Momoshiki comes out. Because even if Momoshiki comes out, Himawari, everyone else, the village, they're still going to advocate for Boruto. We need a situation so where Boruto is seen as kind of a hero, or at the very least gets the benefit of the doubt, so Kawaki can get his character growth. And the perfect way to do it is Mamushi. Because you're in a situation where, at the very least, Team 10, Konohamaru, everyone who was in that battle, their point of view with Boruto starts to change. They start to advocate for him a bit. Himawari gets kind of proven right that her emotions were in the right, that she doesn't believe Boruto killed Naruto, and we get that change in the village. And I feel like that works with Mamushi, because when else are you gonna have a situation to where the village is gonna find out about what Boruto did? The stuff in the Sand Village was in the Sand Village. You're not really getting the full effect. But if you're having Boruto fighting in the village's backyard, to where they saw Mamushi being a danger, and a couple ninjas did see Boruto fighting the Mamushis. If you find out that Boruto won, there'll be a bit of a change against the village. You know what's funny? I just thought of this right now. It'd be really hilarious if Kawaki tries to lie about it and say, no, Boruto didn't beat Mamushi, but there's just so many witnesses that he's forced to say, yeah, he did. Like Team 10 say, yeah, Boruto's the guy who beat Mamushi. Yeah, Konohamaru says the same thing. Kawaki just can't lie his way out of the situation. I feel like that would be hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, Kawaki low-key put himself in a precarious situation already because he's the one who initiated the truce, the temporary what's the name, agreement to temporarily work with Boruto.
Yeah,
So
truce.
I want to see what people will even say is like if Kawaki is like not actively trying to like. That's why it's interesting to see Kawaki's take. They've been avoiding it ever since the whole Jura battle. It's like we don't know what he's saying or how he feels towards others when we actively know the other villages are actively trying to capture Boruto. In the past, we've seen Kawaki cooperate on comms like, yo, Boruto's over here. Yo, I have a suspicion that Boruto may be doing this, that, or the third. So, like, what is his approach now? So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hey, Ryzen, somebody wanted to ask you a question in the not in the chats, but on the comments. I'm gonna show my screen real quick. Hold on. I had it ready before, but I had to get out real quick. But there it goes. Oh, your shit's still up. It says I want to. Oh, so this is from Umar Magazi 1521. I want to ask Ryzen a question. What happens if Mamushi devours Ada? My theory is this: if Mamushi devours Ada, won't Jura and Mamushi get Ada's
Are you pulling up the comments?
Did I not pull it
Oh
up?
shit, I can't hear you.
Oh no, I can hear him. Can you hear me?
Also, yeah, I can hear you, Ryzen.
Okay, so I could hear Free Game. He's reading the question.
Hold on real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I can also just pull up the question and see. I'm guessing it would be on the last video.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, my bad. All right, so let me go back to it. All right. So he says, what happens if Mamushi devours Ada? My theory is this: if Mamushi devours Ada, won't Jura and Mamushi gets Ada's Senrigan powers? And if Jura gets them, won't he use it to see what happens in 3 years ago to Naruto? Because if he does that, then Jura will know that Kawaki is keeping Naruto and exposes him just like Damon predicted. Remember, all the Shinju clones are connected to Jura. That means whoever they devour won't Jura get some powers or information.
I
I was
I
just
would
talking about what we was talking about just currently. That's why it popped up in my head.
100%. In my opinion, I do think there's a good chance if they do devour Ada, they will gain some type of ability. Because we know for a fact that if we take Koji off face value,
I did not have that on the screen. I'm so sorry. I did not have it on the screen. Wow. Okay, go ahead.
we can take off face value that if Ada does get devoured, she'll just die. Like she will be in a tree, but Koji for some reason makes the distinction that with being devoured, you're just dead. That's just a corpse. But why I think there's a good chance, hypothetically, he'd get the Senrigan is because they all make these inklings that they will gain something if they devour their target. Even Hidari made a hypothesis that he might gain the Sharingan if he devours Sarada. So I would say there's a decent, at the very least, a 50-50 chance that happens. And I agree, that would be a perfect way to have Jura find out where Naruto is. Because right now he's kind of in the dark. He just knows Naruto's alive by Kawaki's mannerism. And it would be perfect to switch the Senrigan's holder to the villains because then it ups the stakes more. The only problem you run into is you have to take Ada off the board potentially permanently. And I know Black Uchiha doesn't like that. Yeah, he wants Ada to live. I've kind of switched to my point of view. I think she might live. I feel like there's a chance she could live this arc. So I feel like he swayed me on that situation. But I feel like that's the only problem you run into. But I agree with the theory. I think it would be really cool if he does get the Senrigan. And especially if, for Jura at least, we track the original Ten Tails lifespan, because if they can see that far back to where the Ten Tails to when the Ten Tails popped into existence, then yeah, he can see what happened to Naruto. He can see even before then, and that would be really really cool. Plus, it balances the scale. Now you have Jura being able to keep track of everyone. You have Jura now making more plans. You have Jura getting more information through Mamushi because
And
he
he has
wants
infinite
information. Now he
knowledge
can
at
see
that point.
things with a magnifying glass. Now he can literally get any type of intel he wants whenever he wants.
Yeah. Also, I brought that up too. Like, they need something. They need something to depower the leaf. Like, and we need to see what happens when um a Shinju devours his target, because I think that would be a missed opportunity. You can't bring that up and then it never happens. And you're like, oh shit. So what actually happens? Then you got people who making theories for the rest of the Naruto series on what will happen if the Shinju devour their target.
Oh my god,
Like,
that would be evergreen content. What happens if a divide tree eats their target? Part 502.
yeah, no, yeah. So I think that would be a total missed opportunity. I've been saying that for a pretty long time. Like, I think, like, as much as I love Ada as a character, um, I think she has to go in some type of way, and like the power shift has to, there has to be some type of power shift in some type of way, where Jura or Mamushi acquires the Senrigan, and like he said, that all their eyes are connected, so Jura can see through Mamushi. So like that raised the scales even more, because as of right now, Boruto and Kawaki together can fight Jura, 2v1. Like, it doesn't seem like they, even if you add in Damon, like 3v1, they can pretty much demolish Jura, as what I'm seeing right now. So they have to have some type of, thing on their side that actually levels the playing field, or put them at a substantial opportunity. I mean, a substantial I was gonna say
Advantage.
opportunity. I'm saying, yeah, advantage. That's it. I lost my word. Yeah, advantage.
Honestly, bro, the thing that you said that really came to my attention is like, why do we need to depower the Hidden League? Like, think about it, right? This nigga Jura is so cracked, right? We operated on a plan that hinges on futures seen by a man in a hoodie no one's seen in years. And he's just saying, hey, at 14,567,000, I don't know what number Dr. Strange said. I seen all of these futures and shit not working out. And it's all because of this nigga Jura. I think he got enough of an advantage already. I understand the discourse, and I think honestly, I think Ikimoto should do some type of interesting or compelling plot line that has Naruto and Jura in the mix. I've already mentioned, I've said this again. I say I have like things that could be considered missed opportunities for a lot of characters if we get to the end of the story and Ikimoto doesn't do them. And for Jura, one of them would be if Jura never meets Momoshiki or Naruto. Huge missed opportunity. So I believe a good plot line evolving Jura and Naruto is in due, definitely. But as far as like, because like imagine if we give Jura a Senrikai. Everything Koji plans for is the only thing Koji is gonna see is the fact that Jura sees everything. That's the only thing he's gonna see. You know, this nigga Jura is already a problem. We got niggas like
Mhm.
Boruto, bro, in his base, operating at an Otsutsuki level in terms of like where peak Naruto and Sasuke were operating with enhanced abilities. Like Boruto's operating at this level, and that Boruto is not enough.
I mean, to be fair, if he does get the center gun, Inojin stocks go way up because now you need a Yamanaka.
Not even
to-
A. You need Enojin specifically for that formation jutsu because he the only nigga that know it.
exactly, but even then, you still need the mind transmission jutsu because now you run into a situation where Jura can find out everything you say. So now every conversation needs to go through the transmission
And that
jutsu.
too.
If
It
Ino
becomes yeah, bro.
if
It's
Ino
just too
isn't
much.
playing ball, then you need Enojin, and those Enojin stocks will skyrocket because now you just can't talk anymore. All the conversations have to go through Enojin just to
Literally.
bypass the Senragon at that point, which I feel like would be hilarious because now you're just making Enojin just super useful as a support ninja.
I think Ikimoto's purposely doing like he's making Ada a character, one, because I think it's his character, but two is like she's not necessarily on the good side or the bad side. Obviously, she's going to be helping out the people that we rock with, but it's self-serving interest. And when she was introduced, even when she was on the quote-unquote bad side, it was like self-serving interest because we still had a lot of times. It was like only certain moments Ikimoto would show us, oh, Ada's spying on the village, and she's telling Code all of these things that now, oh shit, there's no point of hiding the information. Ada knows, right? We've seen that a few times, but it's like someone truly evil, someone truly malicious with that ability would have done way more damage than what Ada did in part one. Like all she did
Oh,
was tell Cole,
100%.
like, "Oh snap, Kawaki's on his way now. He's in this sector of the forest." Like Cole was able to get the drop on Kawaki quick. That was the only thing she did beneficial. So I
You know,
don't think Ikimoto
mentioning
wants it to be like an ability completely bad or evil because either side is gonna have an advantage.
oh, 100%. And I'm glad you mentioned how Ada could have did a ton of damage back in the day in part one, which makes me wonder why Shikamaru wasn't willing to use Ada on the daimyo because it feels like she's in a situation to
Wow.
where she wants to help Boruto, and her existence hinges on this too. So I feel like it's a missed opportunity not to get Shikamaru's thought process because in reality, they could have just brought Ada up to the interrogation room. She could
That's
have batted
fact.
her eyelashes up to Kobu and said, "Can you please let Shika go, please?"
No,
Literally.
seriously,
or
seriously.
like, "Can you please increase our budget or something?" So I do want to find out their thought
But
process
then
eventually. I hope the anime does address it a bit, especially if Ada's gone. Even if she's not gone, I just hope it gets addressed because it feels like a weird plot point to where yes, Ada's there. Yes, Ada might be in a position to where she'd be okay to using her charm for that reason, especially now that she's quote unquote friends with Sarada and Sumire. So it does feel kind of weird why they're not using her, and it's interesting that Koji's not even using her either. So in verse, there's got to be some explanation. We just don't know about it yet. I just kind of I want to be told that explanation at some point.
low key, I love it when I get an opportunity to be a geek by Ada, Sarada, Boruto, Damon, or Himawari. It just brings joy to my face. But like, if you look at it, right, I think I think Ikimoto, well, he hasn't flat out told us this, right? But he's been showing us the answer because that is actually a good question. But when you think of terms of usage, especially when Ada even first joined the village, everybody is using her for surveillance and just to confirm things, right? They're being very careful with how they do it. And I think Ikimoto is trying to show us not only because like understanding Ada's personal character arc that she's going through, it's very unironically, it's very personal, right? But it has to do with her feelings, right? Usefulness, right? It mirrors a lot of the things that we see with Mitsuki and his character development, right? So do you really want to objectify a character like that who purposefully has an ability that's like it can grant you anything, right? And we know she has self-conscious issues about this, and especially the result that it brought her. But in terms of like saying, "Oh, Ada, can you confirm that this happened, that happened?" We've seen so many characters do that with her, and she has no problem. But I think it's a reason we never seen a character say, "Yo, Ada, can you go up to what's the name and tell them this?" Because then it's like, well, is that a character to you, or is that a citizen, or is that like an object that can get you anything you want? So you just tell her like, "Oh,
I agree with that
I don't
100%.
think, yeah, yeah." So I don't think like obviously he's not saying this is what Shikamaru says, but Shikamaru isn't gonna be like, especially Sarada, because considering they're friends. But Shikamaru wouldn't definitely say like, "Oh, Ada, come." Now, I do believe in terms of in being in the interrogation room, that could have been a last resort where like have Ada come in and have him release Shikamaru. That's practical. That's the same thing as like, "Oh, Ada, can you confirm that this actually happened in so and so's village?" You know what I'm saying? But having her be like, "Yo, Ada, can you go to the daimyo and tell them to uh make all ninjas salary raised by 30%?" Like that's fucked up,
And
right? And it's
hell, headcanon wise, it is probably the person who's draining the village budget. Like that, those credit cards don't come cheap.
and on top of that, she already don't buy shit. Like she don't pay for shit and she gets whatever she wants. Right. So yeah, that's true. She probably has a good portion in terms of like village expenses, but it just wouldn't really,
I'm pretty
especially in
sure
terms
they
of how
just
Ada
give it
does
to
it.
her.
You said what?
I'm pretty sure they just give it to her. She walks in, they're like, "Oh my
Yeah, they
gosh,
just oh yeah, she just gets whatever she wants. She don't pay for shit.
there's no credit cards involved."
She just gets whatever the fuck she wants. So stocks are always not the numbers aren't matching whenever people are restocking. But I think it just works. And within her character, like we know, like right now in the heat of the battle, in the heat of the situation, things are going on that concerns her. And she's naturally nosy. So if it's interesting, she's gonna spy without you even asking her. But once it comes to a point where you're asking so many questions, like I think people forget, we've seen Ada put her foot down. And even against the likes of someone like Boruto, who's a potential pursuer in her love life, we've seen, remember when Kawaki first escaped, right? Ada was indifferent. She didn't care. She was like, "Oh, whatever." And then she was like, "I'm about to go shopping," right? And Boruto's like, "Hey, you can't leave my sight." And Ada's face and entire demeanor changed when she looked straight Boruto in his face and says, "Let me remind y'all that I am cooperating with you, meaning I get to do what I want. You can't really control me in that matter."
Which is
So she
why
has instances where she will let you know, like, yeah, no,
which is
that's
why
not how
no
this is gonna go.
which is why side note, I'm rooting for my guy Mamushi. I need those Mamushi stocks up. You know,
I
they out here. Damon's out here
think his
cracking
stocks is
bug
doing
teeth.
good though. Low key, his stocks is doing good.
Hmm.
I think his stock without even having a kill count. I'm actually surprised because it's like he took out two people off the battlefield, Sarada and Kawaki. Like imagine we got bullet point spoilers, like Throwback Thursday. Let's just imagine organic dinosaurs out here. She's popping, and she released three tweets. She said, "Boom, Mamushi manages to incapacitate Sarada, Kawaki, and, and now the situation is looking bad." Knowing everything that we know, and all these people are on the battlefield, wouldn't that just make you think like, damn, what the nigga Mamushi got going on? Like he really incapacitated Sarada and Kawaki, despite obviously it's by their own means and efforts, but still because of his presence and the fact that they're trying to defeat him, they got incapacitated in the battlefield. Now it's 1,000 of them, and actively the fans are confused and trying to figure out, well, how do we win now?
And
That's a W to me.
I love the fact that they did go this route because now Damon's kind of placated to where, yeah, sure, Damon can go fight those 1,000+ Mamushis, but he's really locked into staying by Ada's side because the second he goes and fights a couple hundred Mamushis, they'll just be more trying to encircle Ada. So he's kind of stuck in a situation where yeah, I'm not leaving Ada. So now it's up to Boruto and the others to really figure out a way how to get them, how to destroy them in one fell swoop.
Yeah,
Because Damon's not going to risk Ada. And, 1,000 Mamushis, like, Damon could be the GOAT himself, and he is the GOAT himself, as much as I don't want to give him the props,
yes,
but
sir.
he is that guy. It's just, unfortunately, he doesn't have long range jutsu or just jutsu that can do uh long range damage. So he's basically locked to Ada's side. So he's basically that last point of defense. And I'm really interested to see what Koji does say and what the others do, because there's a reason now why Damon's not doing anything. He literally can't. Because the
Unless
second
they're all stupid and try to kill him, and then
exactly, which I hope not, because I feel like that would be just a missed opportunity. But it's gonna be really interesting to see how the remaining of our team actually manages to pull this off.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. I think Ikimoto's doing a good job of portraying the strength differently. Like you said, no matter how strong or fast we know them to be, and even someone I would argue also with Boruto's case, it's like area of effect attacks. How much of it do they actually have? How much can they cover? You know what I'm saying? And for someone like Damon, especially if the person he's fighting doesn't have a big attack and they're not aiming it at Damon, he has nothing but his fist and feet. So it's like, how do
Exactly.
you defeat 1,000 enemies? Obviously, you can with just that, but 1,000 enemies that can continue cloning, it's never ending, bro.
Yeah, and Inojin already said that it's still climbing, so we might
And
even
it's
be
yeah,
over 1,000.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like people forget that strength isn't necessarily always measured by who can hit harder. It doesn't matter how hard you can hit if you're never going to be able to put your enemy down. Just look at Kawaki. In a normal circumstance, he might have beaten Mamushi easily, even 100% Mamushi would just himself. But if Mamushi keeps coming back up,
you can.
eventually Kawaki will get tired, and that's basically what happened. He
Mm-hmm.
overheated and he lost because he couldn't put the enemy down. Even Team 10, they were having a relatively decent time putting down the Mamushi clones, but even they were getting tired.
Mm-hmm.
Sarada got tired. So it becomes a situation to where you might not be physically as strong as your opponent, but if you have these tactics or tricks like that Mamushi does have, you run into a situation where, yeah, by proxy, Mamushi is just stronger because of his abilities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in the technical speaking, like not to break the meta, it's like technically, like who can really fade this nigga Mamushi 1-on-1? You feel me?
Yeah, like unless you're bringing out Naruto in his prime and
Yeah,
just
other than
having him
Naruto, which is what I
exactly,
said.
he's really the only one that fits that spectrum of power comparison. And unfortunately, dude,
And even then, it would be tough because imagine, boom, Naruto takes out 3 Mamushi clones, right? And the third one on the verge of dying, he splits right before his eyes are destroyed. Naruto, soon as them shadow clones destroyed, if that nigga ain't focused enough to summon like 5 more clones, them numbers are going down and they're staying down.
now I
So if
might
you
be
could start
biased.
with 1,000 clones and then that nigga end up with like 500, he
I
got
might be
fucked.
biased, and I'm the first one to say that Naruto got outclassed. But I think for this specific situation, if you gave him Karama, just make 1,000 clones, have each of the chakra arms just hold the Mamushi, and just destroy them.
That's also true. That's
That's
very
that's
tactical.
my only bias on that situation. I feel like Naruto, his specific skill set is just uniquely viable to Mamushi, where that's the divine tree. It's a terrible matchup for the divine tree in that situation. That's just that might be my bias. That's the way I'm looking at it. I feel like the more Mamushis you make, the easier it just gets for Naruto. That's like literally the opposite of Koji's plan right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. If someone
Hey,
like Himawari could utilize the chakra, man, she could have summoned clones, but 1,000 clones, we took that shit for granted. We thought it was sweet because Naruto kept spamming it. Now we see how much. Now we see why.
yeah, how
And,
much?
I do another reason why I do want to see Himawari doing a team up with Boruto because she hasn't been really using any jutsu. Like she has the tailed beast bomb, but she's been kind of a Tai jutsu specialist. I feel like it'd be a missed opportunity not to give her a jutsu or two. I feel like shadow clones would really be cool. And until we get the Byakugan, we're not really getting any real gentle fist type stuff. So I do want to see her get more versatility in her arsenal.
You know
Yeah, I
what's a good
agree.
question? What if he just like creating clones on a random day? Like, how do they go? Like, do they just merge back, or they got to kill them?
I think you would have to kill them.
I'm saying like
Um,
the Bushi stuff. Like, this cannot be his first time just cloning. So I'm saying like one random day last week, could he have just like say he summoned like 3 clones? Like, remember the time he was, I guess, doing a recon with Matsuri and he
yeah.
reported back to Jura. It's like, what did you do to the clones you summoned then? Did you just?
I guess you just have to
I
kill
don't feel
them.
like cleaning my room. Let me let
I'm
Um,
me
saying, so after you summon yourself, you gonna just kill yourself 3 times? Like, all right, my
remember
guy.
remember that one early villain in the CW Flash? The one
Uh,
who could clone himself.
I'm trying to think. I ain't gonna lie. Is my memory's
It's been
hazy
a
with the
minute.
early
It's been
seasons.
a minute.
It's
Yeah.
season one. It's
Yeah, oh
season
yeah,
one.
It's
definitely.
been a
Uh,
minute.
this one dude could clone himself, and I think Caitlyn grew a copy of him using his cells. And the only way you could really uh remove the clone was killing them. Like once he made the clone, that was it. And unless I'm misremembering it, even when he died, they still had a ton of bodies. So I feel like
That's
that would be
crazy.
the same situation with Mamushi. Like if he makes a clone, like unless that dude dies, Mamushi's kind of stuck with him at that point.
So he just damn like at that point, it's like
Or
the
even
fuck.
like the speed duplicate. I don't remember what it was called. A time remnant that they had in the Flash. Like to remove a time remnant, you had to kill them.
Oh yeah, I remember that story arc. Yeah.
So I would
Mhm.
just guess since they're all basically Mamushi at the end of the day, you would just have to kill all of them until there's just one left.
Or what about the dude who wore the mask and every time he took his mask off, his body split apart? I can't
Talking
remember
about
who it was.
Twice from My Hero Academia. I was
Yeah,
just
there you
thinking
go.
about him
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
But even
him.
with Twice, now his clones couldn't disappear after he summoned them. So I'm thinking like on random days, like what did like that's what I'm thinking about. Like what did Twice and Mamushi do with those clones
They
when
got
they
shuttled. They got
yeah, like that's
shuttled.
crazy. So like they're actively killing themselves
But with
every day,
twice,
bro.
with twice, they couldn't figure out who was the real one, so they
Wait,
just
hold
go ahead and
on.
kill
So
each other.
do y'all watch Invincible?
Yeah, I watch
Yeah.
Invincible. Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
with
yeah, I know what you're
duplicate,
gonna bring up.
I was about to say with
Yeah.
duplicate, are they allowed? Do they come back together, or does she have to die for the clone to be gone?
She has to die, I'm pretty sure, because from what I remember, she left a clone just
Yeah, I
somewhere up in
remember
the
that when
mountains,
Yeah,
and
she
then
yeah.
when
left
her
When
that
everybody
clone.
thought
yeah,
she was dead. Yeah,
yeah. So
But
everybody
basically, the
think
thought she
last
about
was dead.
this though. But this is why my mind is so fucked up, y'all. Like, think about this though. Because remember when Shorty and Rex, when Eve caught them cheating in the shower, right? And
yeah,
she had like 4 clones. I'm like, just for all right, boom, you have your time, say boom, boom, boom. Y'all have fun. Now you got 5 extra niggas you summoned just to have sex. But like, what did she do with those other 5 bodies?
I
Like,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Brody said, "Keep him."
hey, keep them. Yes, I don't mind, but like, really, like for breakfast, it's like lunch. Unless we're not fighting the villain, are you the one who's killing these clones that
I
you
guess
summoned
so.
to have sex? I'm like, that's crazy to me. So
I guess so.
Well,
Well,
we only seen like her clones die when they was like fighting and stuff like that. So like
I mean, didn't
that's what
her
I'm
it
saying.
brother
Can
never
she
really
merge them
explained.
back together? That
didn't
would be
her
a really
brother
Probably,
like
useful
have a
way.
ton
probably.
of dead clones?
Her brother had the same thing too.
Did he? I know. Did Paul? Did he merge back together when he was cloning?
I don't think he
Every
did.
time
I
I
think he
seen
just
it, like he
died.
did it in the prison, he kept on multiplying until like they like got squeezed to death or some shit like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Damn. Yeah. So
I don't think it was ever showed.
that's actually a dark question. Now that I think about it, a lot of artists probably are never going to answer. They're just like, "Fuck it, this nigga got a clone in the belly. Don't worry about how you solve it." Because I'm thinking like, all right, if they're not even fighting, let's just say the nigga Mamushi tired. And he like, damn, I left my mag. We know the magazine's TV reader. He like, I left my magazine on the other side of the cave. Jura's not trying to get it. Hidari's too busy reading his pop-up books. So Mamushi something like 2 clones to go look for the magazine because how many Mamushis does it take to find the center of a tusk pot? And now they bring the magazine back. What do you do with those other 2 clones,
All right, I
Mamushi?
looked it up for Kate and Paul. They do have the ability to merge their copies back. They don't have
they
to. They don't
okay,
have to, but they can. So if they
okay.
die, the body will just be there, but they can merge their
That
bodies
makes it
back
because I'm
together.
like, if Kate is really summoning 5 different clones to have sex with Rex, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
All
is
right, time to
that's
get the shovel.
dark? That's actually,
Time
I
to
was about
get
to say,
that
yeah, that's
shovel.
actually dark because now it's like, now that y'all are done, are you about to kill your own clones because you only needed them to have like, I guess, a different, I don't feeling, but it's like, What are you gonna do? So they had to have the ability to merge back
Yeah,
together.
because
That's
it,
actually.
it also says that they do feel their clones' pain. So if they die, it'll feel like they're dying
Oh
when
yeah,
they become the main. So that would be really dark.
yeah. That's very very dark.
Hey, we did get a super chat real quick. It's off topic, but J Money Go 83367. Hold on, let me see if I can click on it. Hold on, one
Amen.
second.
In a
Hold on.
minute. But yeah, bro, man, that cloning thing is always trippy to me. I'll be thinking about
Can
weird
y'all hear
stuff,
me?
bro. Yeah, I
Yeah,
hear you. You about to pull up the chat, right?
I think he left for a second.
Oh
He's not
shit.
on my screen anymore.
Oh, he probably couldn't hear us then.
Mm.
Yeah, but nah. I guess while we wait on him, the cloning thing, bro. Because I'm like, I would think about it. I'm like, that's good that they clarify that with duplicate and Paul, because it has to make.
My
Because when I
fault.
saw
My
that
fault.
thing,
Yeah,
like I
hear
know
me?
some people was thinking like,
Yeah.
oh, nigga, Rex is lucky, but that was one of the things I thought about. I was like, okay, they got
Yeah.
out the shower, but like, what is she gonna do with the rest of these clones? That's the thing I'm thinking about. You know what I'm
Y'all hear
saying?
me?
So I was
Yeah, I
like,
can
all
hear you.
right,
I
bro.
can hear you, free game.
Say something
You
for
hear me,
game.
Black? You hear me?
Fucking shit.
Ah. All right,
I
hold
gotta
on.
come.
No, it's me. I'll come back.
But yeah, that is it is. Oh, okay, they left. But yeah, the clone thing is really funny, and I don't think it's necessary to explain it with Mamushi because with duplicate, yeah, there's the underlying interest in wanting to know what happens to their clones. But with Mamushi, no one, I feel like no one really cares at that point, and they're all really gonna die anyway. So I feel like if he was a normal character, if he was like a normal person, then you can kind of like say, oh, what happens to your clone once you use them? Do they dispel? Do you absorb them? Do you remerge? I think with Mamushi, it's just a lot funnier to just say he kills them. At the end of the day, he picks up that shovel and he says, "Oh right, time to kill another Mamushi."
Nah, I think he
Yo,
I, I think he like gathers back with them. What up, Black? You didn't have to get off, it was me. But yeah, my
I'm not. I
bad.
couldn't hear
Jay
you
Money
when
go.
you were speaking. I
I
couldn't hear
know
you.
it was me though. It was me though. It was me.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah. He sent a $2 donation. He said, "Y'all seen the JJK new episode trailer?"
I'm getting
I,
right now. I'm still on the Mega Me episode, bro.
yeah, I'm behind too. Like once I finished reading the manga, I just said, you know what, I'm gonna just wait until there's a ton of episodes and I can binge watch them later on.
Same.
I'll say the last episode I seen was the UG versus old boy Himawari episode, and when Mega Me was about to start boxing old dude, I think Reggie. So I ain't seen because I know like I think the last episode of Core One is about to drop in a week or some shit like that. So I ain't seen the trailer. I didn't even know they dropped the trailer, honestly, for the next episode. But
I haven't
JJK
even
is
been watching
gas.
JJK. I know me. I know. I just fell off a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, J Money, for the donation though. Yeah,
Shout
all
out my
right, my
nigga. Free
bad.
my nigga Gojo till it's backwards. But yeah, go ahead.
All right, continue. My bad.
Nah, yeah, we were just on a tangent about the cloning. My fault. I was just baffled about the idea that Mamushi kills himself when he when he's not cloning on the battlefield. But
Oh, hey, I got another one though. Another comment.
yes, sir.
I think we should go over real quick. Let's see. This one. All right, so this is wild, dude. Oh my god, this.
The
Sorry,
comment is
I'm
wild, or is
laughing
that
because
his
I know.
name?
No, that's his name. I just know who this is. This is Ood. He said, "Do we think Damon's reflection ability is tied to his strange looking dojutsu?"
Who his what?
Oh shit! Hold on. Let me put it on stage. I did not put it on stage. I keep on tweaking with that.
Wait, what?
All right, so can you see that? I even zoomed in for you guys a little bit.
Yeah, I can see it.
So you can see it.
Yeah, I can see the screen now.
All right. So Wild Dude, aka Ood, he says, "Do we think Damon's reflection ability is tied to his strange looking dojutsu? Shit, couldn't say that.
Um, Ood, I think, because I know like it's hard, especially for me and Ood. Like we don't be trying to like. I know Ood is the only other person I know who understands that Damon is the strongest in the story right now,
Oh my
and that
gosh.
we Ood never fell for the Jura hype. I don't know why everybody fell on the Jura hype, but fake news obviously can't break the ears of me and Ood. But I was thinking about like early on. I really did think, and I still think it's a possibility that Damon had a dojutsu because of his eyes looking. It just looks weird, right? But I don't know, man. Ikimoto, he like I get less and less surprised every month. I'm like, niggas just be doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen that clip of LeBron? He was like, at that point, I was just trying shit, one leg off the backboard fadeaway. Like at this point, Ikimoto just be doing shit. So I wouldn't be surprised. And I would say my initial thought for Damon's ability was that it was linked to his eyesight. I thought prior to chapter 32, because I believe 32 we got a retcon for his abilities. But prior to chapter 32, I thought his sight, basically when he looks at you, that triggers his ability to reflect intent, not just the action, but the murderous intent. And that's tied to whenever he's looking at someone. That can still be very much true. And if it is something with the dojutsu, I think that's what it is. But like I said, I think 32 retcon Damon's ability heavily. So
And I think with Ikamoto, anything is possible at this point.
yeah,
It could be something that yeah, it's the passive dojutsu where that's where he gets his power from, kind of like with Ada's Senragon, except she has to activate it. Or it could just be that's how he wanted to design Damon's eyes, and it's just
that's what
a
I
regular
also think.
ability. Because
Yeah,
we do see with prescience, it doesn't seem to be like a dojutsu ability, but Koji's eyes do seem to glaze over. I wouldn't necessarily call it a dojutsu though,
yeah,
but anything's possible at this point. And
for
it
sure.
doesn't really take away anything from Damon. All he would do is just give us the name of his eye, hypothetically, and it could just be that again,
Reflectagon. You got a
reflecting.
Reflecting
reflectagon.
on.
You got a reflectagon.
And, it could just be because they're Ikamoto's characters, and he did want to make them otherworldly, so it could be as simple as that. But I wouldn't put it past him to make it a dojutsu.
Yeah, that's really what I'm thinking. Like more and more, especially since 32. I think yeah, he was just like, I want this nigga to look cool. That's really it. But if it's something to do with his eyes, I think it should be with his murderous intent. And I think I would agree with Ood. Yes, that's what it should be.
Would it be as like a dojutsu if it's always active though?
Yeah, I would say so because we have the Renegon that's always active
Sure.
passively, even when it's
Yeah,
not like active, it's still the Renegon. And we
yeah.
haven't really seen anyone turn off the Renegon, even if it was their eyes. Like Madara never did it. He
That
only really
wasn't
did
even
it at
going to
the
be
end of
my
Tensei.
question. What I was going to ask is, do you guys think it's like a symbolism just like between him and his sister?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that
think
could.
part of it is definitely that, yes, because Ikimo's like, I drew them like that. But if it has anything more to do than just symbolism, uh probably, but it's hard to say. Because it's like you gave him already it's like Damon, he's kind of in the same boat as Momoshiki. And Momoshiki's been around for a while, so it's already like manageable. But like I was the type of person, even from the jump, I'm like, Momoshiki was introduced. I'm like, this is the strongest character ever. Because if the nigga can absorb your jutsu and fire it back twice as strong, it don't matter who he fighting, right? Now, obviously, you could outsmart a nigga, out hacks a nigga. That's true. But like, I think that's like you don't really need to give him any much more else other than just say, hey, now he's getting to his full power. That's why I was so like, damn, it's like, let's just say like, hey, the nigga kick strong and he's fast. Because if he already got the ability, he can reflect your shit. He got everybody ability. You feel me? So it's like, what more do we give him?
Yeah,
100%.
that's true. That's true. 100%. Let me see if I got another one real quick. Let me see. That was the only ones that I saw at the top. No, all right,
Solid.
that's it. That's it. So, I mean, if you guys want to discuss any of your comments, comment on the podcast always, and we might do this again. It's going over some interesting comments.
Yeah, man. Keep
Um,
it, interesting, man.
yeah, for real. Don't throw us none of the same shit over and over. No, I'm just playing.
Same shit over and over. Nah.
I'm just joking. But going forward though, say I want to go back to the conversation that we was having with like Boruto being the one to defeat Mamushi. Um, would do you think that would be because Damon failed, or is it
I
because like I heard you guys saying like Damon protecting Ada, but
It wouldn't necessarily be that Damon failed. It would be that it doesn't line up with Damon's goal of protecting Ada, but also the fact that that ability wise, he just can't get rid of them all at the same time to where he can put Mamushi down permanently. He can get them down to a small amount of Mamushi clones, but by the time he does that, the Mamushis will get smart enough to where they're just going to replicate again.
Yeah.
So it becomes a situation to where can Damon kill them all at nearly the same time to where he can put him down permanently? I don't think he can at this rate. I
Yeah.
feel like that's why they needed Sarada, because if he just misses one clone, they're just gonna replicate again. That's what I feel like is the issue. So right now he's kind of
yeah,
bogged down to
and
what
then
we
he's at a handy, and then he's at a handicap too because he got to stay by her side. So like, how much can he really do?
exactly. And it becomes a situation to where as long if he just makes one mistake and one Mamushi clone gets to Ada, it's over. It doesn't matter. Sure,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna face Damon's wrath later on, like Boruto said, but at that point, it's a moot point because Ada's already gone. She's already dead, and
Right.
we've seen this happen because Koji has shown prescience to us. We've seen that Koji saw that Ada turned into a tree. That means that for better or worse, Mamushi was able to get past Damon. It doesn't mean he was able to beat Damon. It just means that he overwhelmed Damon to the point where Damon made a mistake, hypothetically, and a clone just got to Ada before he could get to his sister.
Facts. Yeah. That's basically what it is. And it just makes more sense for, I mean, because like, if Damon didn't get a new ability revealed in 32, then he wasn't going to be the one, especially to take down a full swarm of Mamushi in one fell swoop. Especially if like they're all going to be thinking different things. Like some of them might have murderous intent while others are thinking about tacos, or some of them are still
Exactly.
thinking about Ada. You know what I'm saying? So he can't kill all of them if they're not thinking about killing him. So it just
Exactly.
works. And with Boruto, like I said, man, I think the best way is Flying Raijin. I think Ikimoto's about to go crazy with Flying Raijin in the next chapter. He's going
And
to emphasize why this nigga Boruto
I,
mastered
I'm glad you brought
Genjutsu.
that up. I'm really glad you brought that up because think about it. I feel like we forget that the karma gives you so much added benefits.
Yeah.
And that Momoshiki, for as much as a clown we think he is, he did have a lot of tactics. And someone on Twitter brought up a really good point that now that he has full access to the karma, in theory, he should have full mastery of Otsutsuki teleportation. So what if that buffs up his flying Raijin?
It would probably just make it easier for him. Like I
And
think in
also
my head canon, he
one thing
already
too
managed to
though, like
perfect it. No, say
and
that. Go
one
ahead.
thing too though, what he can do with the karma, so they can open up like portals to other dimensions. Like he start
Yeah.
wiping them out that way. Like I don't know if that's like a sufficient
He
like
could. He could
strategy,
fucking
but
pull an Ishiki and portal like half of them niggas away. You're right, actually. He could do that.
got so much mastery of it. He pull a Doctor Strange and put just a portal under all of them, and they just fall to a
nigga,
different dimension.
nigga Mamushi starts seeing these fucking blue and black transporter rings opening above him. He's like, what the hell? But I didn't even think about it like that. Because if he does have more mastery over the karma because of Momoshiki's cooperation, that does make sense to where like if he mastered the flying Raijin in a way to compensate for his ninja abilities and Otsutsuki genes, but now he doesn't have to worry about figuring out the Otsutsuki part because he has full cooperation or collaboration on his Otsutsuki half. I think he would have a better understanding and to where it would come naturally, but I do still believe he would stick to his because like I ain't gonna lie, I know for a fact that nigga Boruto have fun using flying Raijin. He like that shit, bro. As far
Oh
as
And I
no,
what
feel like
facts. Would
I
you
feel like
not?
I feel like the
I'm
only
saying.
problem we face is the fact that Kawaki hasn't shown himself using space-time ninjutsu. But I would just chalk him up to him being just the Timu Otsutsuki.
Yeah.
It seems like he's just a bootleg version of Boruto at this point.
No, he
And
used
plus,
space
think
time
about it.
ninjutsu.
And
He
think
has
about it though.
consciously.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
said what?
he goes into the
Oh well, yeah, he
Nichiren
goes into his like
Yeah,
Kokuten.
that's
Yeah,
Daikokuten though. Can we really say
uh,
that's teleport? That's just like him being able to teleport to multiple places.
oh yeah,
And I'll give
when
you
you
that.
think about it, but when you think about it, when he first saw Boruto early TBV, one of the first thing Boruto did was teleport, and one of the first thing he sensed was Boruto's chakra, and then it was suddenly gone. So in Kaoki's head, he's like, this nigga has instant teleportation. He even is confused how Boruto was able to do what he's doing. So he knows because we seen Kawaki use the the regular karma space time teleportation, but
I'm,
it's not a fast jutsu. It's not a
and I,
jutsu where you can instantly disappear and shit like
and
that.
at the same
exactly,
time, he knows he's not using the karma cell at
but
that
I
too.
Yeah,
So
also,
like, how
I
you doing
also,
that?
what rubs me the wrong way and why I think Kawaki just doesn't have teleportation other than like Daikokuten is because Shikamaru did say, "Oh, does that mean Boruto already mastered space time ninjutsu?" And it makes it seem like he's implied that Kawaki hasn't been able to figure it out yet.
yeah,
Because then it feels like Shikamaru would have said, "Oh, so Boruto can also use space time teleportation now." Where is it?
that's true.
Here it is.
I mean,
Oh, he suddenly
think
vanished somewhere. Does this mean he's mastered space time ninjutsu? I have no clue how he did it, but Boruto vanished after Code fled as if he were chasing him. So it feels like he's insinuating that Kawaki doesn't have space time ninjutsu in mastering the regard that he can open a teleportation. I
at the very
forgot.
least at the level of someone like Sasuke, where he was able
Yeah,
to be
because
reliable.
then they
Yeah,
would make the distinction that it was different than what I do, quote unquote, what Kawaki does. But it feels like that Kawaki can't even do that because then it feels like it should have been brought into the conversation.
I mean, yeah, because
Yeah, yeah,
Boruto, the whole person, like even with omnipotence factored in, they've only seen Boruto himself use space time by himself when he did the Ishiki thing. Other than that, Kawaki used it. It was always with Boruto in conjunction, and he was like,
yeah,
"I need your help to do this, Boruto." So
yeah.
So
yeah,
that's why I feel like Kawaki's the Timu Otsutsuki. He got the Timu karma because if we do find out Boruto just has unconscious mastery of Otsutsuki teleportation now because of having because he has full access to the karma, which means he has full access to Momoshiki's experience. So if he can do that, but Kawaki doesn't, it feels like something's wrong with Kawaki because either A, Amado is holding some power back or at least some experience back from his karma, or B, Kawaki just ain't that good of a vessel, which
he said, "Ain't
I've
that
said this
good?"
before, but it feels like Ishiki really got the short end of the stick. Meanwhile, Momoshiki found that purebred, perfect vessel immediately after coming to Earth.
Facts. That is
Yeah,
facts.
real quick, we was talking about it in the group chat. He got some Balenciagas from a thrift store.
That's basically what happened. When
Yeah,
you ever walk into Ross or like Journeys or some shit, you just want some regular, right? And then you boom. Like the other day, I'm gonna be on like the other day, last week, I'm walking through Ross. What was I gonna get? A charger. I needed to get a new charger for my car because I'm like, damn, I need to get a cheap charger. I know Ross gonna have cheap chargers. I walked past a True Religion jacket. Now the rack didn't have any more of these jackets, so it's not something I'm gonna come back and get it. I had to make a decision right then and there. So I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna get this True Religion jacket. That's Momoshiki. The nigga walked into Ross. He was looking for some regular shit and then he found a premium. He was like, I can't leave without it. So he had to
Dude
cop
really
it.
said, "Hey, you got Byakugan blood? Hang on a minute, this
Literally.
changes things. Hey, man, where have you been?"
So that's how it be, man. Sometimes, man. Sometimes. But I think like I said earlier though, Kawaki stocks are they're
They're gonna
anybody
rebound.
who know, yeah, they're gonna go down. It's like the shit's gonna rise, bro.
You know,
Anybody who know
you gotta buy
market,
the
they
dip.
know.
You know,
Yeah.
I'd say they're a good investment, and I hate Kawaki.
Literally, at this point, it's a matter of preference.
Buy
Like with
while they're
people, I gotta
low.
let people know my bashing on Kawaki is preference. I know the nigga gonna
Exactly.
be like that by the end of the story, but
Buy
my
low,
preference.
sell high.
You said what?
Buy low, sell high.
Buy low, exactly that. Buy low, sell high. You know what I'm saying? You get it when the value is lowest, and then you sell it when the shit everybody popping off of it now. That's how it be.
100%. And I'm really interested to see what Amato's new plan is because at this point he's got to be having a heart attack because if Kawaki dies, Akabe's gone permanently. So
Yeah,
I really want to see what his tactics will be to potentially amp Kawaki up because I'm under the assumption that his body just can't handle it, and that could have been solved by just strengthening his body. He's
yeah,
taking too many shortcuts to power, but I don't see him having enough time to actually be able to train his body. So he needs some other unorthodox way, whether that be Shibai cells, some new technology, or just a new body in general. But I really want to see how far Amada will spiral to get his daughter back, or at least try to get his daughter back.
yeah. He can reconstruct his durability. That's why I always think like it's gonna have to be a thing where like you said, it's too late for him to train. He's not gonna train. But I believe in a world where let's say it's gonna have to be with upgrades. We know Kawaki can't get enough of his upgrades. So let's say the next upgrade comes. What if it comes with like an ultimatum where Kawaki is forced to only use a certain amount of power to allow his body to stabilize? If he uses power prior to his stabilization, body shuts down, destability, all of these things that can go wrong. So he has to have a certain time. Like that would have to be his training because he's not gonna train. So if you give him a power and force him to not use it, that would be Kawaki's training in a sense to show like restraint. Well, like, damn, I gotta wait 2 weeks, allow my body to stabilize. That means I can't go over a certain threshold of power to make sure everything levels out. My durability is intact. My offensive and defensive are all intact. So I think it will have to be something like that where he has to wait it out.
I mean, if he wants the expert in body modification, pause. Orochimaru is right there. You know, Orochimaru been doing this in caves before Amado even got into this business. So
Yeah,
it'd be
but
kind of
Kawaki,
funny if he tries to go and find some other doctors, get a second opinion or something.
I'm about to say Loki. I think Kawaki done with test tubes though. Like Amato, he'll operate on you, but he's like more engineering, right? He's gonna take some mechanical. Like Kawaki done with sticking needles in your body and injecting bodily fluids and all of that extra shit. Jigen and Orochimaru was doing. He done with all of that.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
you know what I think would have been cool if his Daikoku functioned as like a hyperbolic time chamber. I feel like that would have been interesting just to see him take Mitsuki if Mitsuki still fucked with him and just train for 3 years straight.
That would be wild. That's what he should have done with Naruto, but he didn't. So trainer's not gonna be in the picture now. Definitely, the stakes are
100%.
right in front of him. So
I feel like at this point he's gonna say, you know what? I need what you gave Damon, and I need that shit now. Pass me some
literally,
Shibai cells.
he would have to.
Yeah, we'll
You
see.
know, we know at some point he'll be Scarf Kawaki, and we just gotta figure out how he gets to this point.
Yeah, how he gets to the scarf. That's true.
They did
That
say
that
they
scarf's
gonna
still ugly
change
though,
up
but
that.
yeah,
It is 100%.
They did say they was gonna change up the time skip designs.
they
Or
did. But
that
remember,
team that's
before we got two Blue Vortex, remember Ikimoto released those designs for Boruto and Kawaki,
Yes,
and
the
it
only
was
thing I think he really changed was he gave Kawaki sleeves.
he gave him what?
Sleeves.
Yeah, yeah, that's what he did. He gave him sleeves.
he
Well,
gave
in
him.
the what's the name in the updated design? How did because I think his hair is a little bit. Well, it's kind of like TBV. His hair is longer and stuff like that. So yeah,
I can pull it up real quick. Hold on.
bro, what the heck? My fault. Hey, bro. I'm playing this Avengers game right now. This little
Avengers
mini.
game.
Right now, I'm Hulk, right? And this little mini robot came up behind me and started. I'm like, why my controller started vibrating? Pause. Nigga was trying to beat me up the whole time. His like pillow punches, bro. And I'm like, my controller was
Oh,
vibrating crazy. I was like,
I'm
what
gonna
the
have to
heck?
get that game. I didn't know they had an Avengers game.
I be liking games that people for some reason vote down on. So it's not really. I think they discontinued the
Very
game.
popular game. Oh, okay, that's the
Yeah,
design right there.
Yes, that's the
yeah,
current design.
yeah. These are the updated designs. So yeah, I think once we get to this version of Kawaki, fuck, I died. That's when we're gonna start seeing that, and I think it's a little bit closer because right now, technically, I think is that the same jacket he has on now, or kind of the same? It's just without the
It's
scarf.
it's different. I think I would have to let me double check. I'm pretty sure it is a different design.
It looks like it could be a long sleeve, or but I don't know. It might be cutoffs. It could be a cutoff.
What scares me is that
Now he has
scarf
like a
is
trench coat on.
yeah, I can see it as a trench coat. Well, what scares me though is that scarf is so coded
Yeah,
that I'm scared that he might try to steal Code's body. And you know, like I said, okay, I told Boruto to steal Code's body. Pause. But maybe his body's more durable. Pause. He just steals Code's body. I don't know. That scarf just reminds me of Code's outfit way too much.
yeah, you're right. Oh shit, man. Who
Mm,
knows? He was the one who brought up the idea, so who knows? And
And you know, Code does have the same cybernetics, so it's not like he would lose those cybernetics.
yeah,
Code also has a karma, so I feel like it becomes a situation to where that might be possible. I hope it's not, because I'll lose more respect for Kawaki if it does happen.
he
Uh,
especially he can't get the claw marks too, because I'm like, nah, bro, what are you doing?
exactly.
What
And
are
you
you
know, Code
doing?
does have Shibai cells,
Yeah,
so it becomes a situation to where
or if he resurrects too cold, if Akibi actually comes and manifests and
mm,
she
man, I
manifests
already
the
told y'all,
truth.
Akibi finna beat the brakes off of Kawaki as soon as she wake up.
yeah, here's the current like trench trench coat that he has on right now.
That's on. Oh yeah, so it's different. It looks different.
Yeah, so the scarf one kind of gives me like Jigen vibes or like monk vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think actually, because this one, oh, hold on, zooming in. Well, it might not be different. It might just be
I
that he
like
just
this
puts the
scarf.
scarf over it, low key.
Hmm.
It might
Let me
just be he just puts the scarf over it. It might be the
see.
same outfit, and it's like the color. You know how like imagine if it's just like a different color, Ikimoto colored it. Because I was thinking about it, but I'm like, because he got that collar pop, but I'm like, low key, even if he fold or keep the collar pop, just placing the scarf over it, it's like the same
I could
kind
see it.
of.
You know, the vibe I'm getting is his dad's design.
Yeah,
What was his name? I forget his dad's name, but
Ikimoto. Oh, you talking about? I don't think he was named.
no, he
I don't
was
think.
named. I'm just drawing like something with a K, I think.
Shit.
Let me
He probably was named in that episode, but I forget.
Kokatsu.
Kokatsu, whack ass nigga.
But
He the
the
reason why I
vibe.
call it a bump, man.
I mean, let's be fair. Let's be fair. He did say Kawaki was worth nothing, and that's my favorite quote. You know, biased alert, but and the outfit that he has kind of reminds me of his dad's, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I can see it.
That
Like the
actually is literally his dad's outfit.
like it feels like he just got his dad's like upper outfit and just said, you know what? That's the only thing you gave me for my inheritance or something. It's the only thing I can take from you or something.
What
Do you?
what you ain't what would it do? Would it do numbers for Kawaki's character if his dad comes back in the story?
I was just about to say that.
It would,
Like,
but he'd also think Boruto's his son. So it
oh
would have
yeah,
to be a
I'm
situation to where
fuck
Kawaki
omnipotent,
just
man.
goes to see his dad for the fun of it, to like, I don't know, just do something to him or something.
Nah, say all right, say like in a post omnipotence world, right? How do you think would Kawaki emotionally react to like we know how he would react, like say if he saw Ishiki or Jigen. Nigga's hyperbolic time chamber, he's gonna be hyperventilating, he's gonna be scared, coughing up blood, probably he gonna be like, oh Ishiki. Like if he saw his dad, what do you think he would do? Because we saw Loki he was fucked up. Like Kawaki loved and respected his dad, bro. If niggas was making fun of him back in that village, he was like, bro, don't talk about my dad. Like, y'all know what the nigga gotta go through. Like, yeah, he beat me, but hey, man, according to him, he was a respectable ninja. So Kawaki literally was like manipulated by his father. So how do y'all think he would react at a reunion?
I feel like if it's a post omnipotence situation, he would just say that, yeah, Naruto's my dad, and like that blood doesn't really matter. Like it's the bonds you make. But I could see him definitely having a hyperventilating situation if it's pre-omnipotence and if he's at his lowest point. I just
Mhm.
wonder how that reaction would be because Kokatsu wouldn't necessarily remember Kawaki.
I don't
I
know.
was
What
like,
I think he would do is, I think he'll do some Thor shit. He'll go to his dad. He'll drink with him, and then smash his cup on the floor and say another one.
he said another one. Nah, that'd be wild, bro. I don't think he might fuck with his dad.
Fetch me some liquor.
He might. That'd be wild though. It would be weird to have Kokatsu come back into the story. I'm like, damn nigga, you done sold this nigga. He should be rich. Loki, where this nigga at? He need to budget. He need to fucking donate to the village.
I mean,
Nigga
dude
done
spent
got
it all. Dude probably drank himself to death. Well,
that's
I'm with that good
crazy.
Hennessy.
Bro, got some premium shit, man.
Hey, before we dip out real quick, Galaxy, he said, was it surprising to you guys that Kawaki is not as popular overseas, even though he's the duder? I can't spell that. I can't say that right now.
Oh,
Not Deuteronomy. Deuteragonist.
And that's why I just quit.
oh,
Deuteragonist.
100%, 100%. You know, I thought he would be top 3, but it makes sense because you know you have Sarada, the child of Sasuke, you have Himawari and Boruto, child of Naruto, so it does make sense.
Yeah.
I,
Wait, what number is Kawaki? If
we don't
anybody knows.
know. So during the editor interview, they asked him if he knows about the popularity of the characters overseas, and he said Boruto, Sarada, and
And
Himawari.
yeah, I said
So the top 3. So if he's going on a strictly top 3 basis, it makes sense. I just would have thought Kawaki would have been on top 3, but
it
it does
makes
make
I
sense.
mean,
It doesn't make sense why the others are because
just like
you have the legacy characters.
I was about to say, yeah, it's just like he said. It's like they got the Sharingan and Kurama. Niggas they love the Sharingan, they love some Kurama. So Sarada and Himawari is a given. The show's named after Boruto. But yeah, he didn't. I've been trying to tell man, look, he don't got the same clout as Sasuke. People be like, oh, Kawaki, this Sasuke. Like, man, look, man, y'all see what Sasuke was doing. Some people damn near petitioned to have the show called Sasuke. Like, it was a thing. Like they thought.
100%.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Now I
facts.
give you that Kawaki, he had a run going into TBV. I thought like, hey, this nigga Kawaki, low key.
And
I was like, hey, he's moving different,
I'm
but
sorry, but like a Kokugan isn't a Sharingan. It doesn't matter what the Kokugan could do. It just doesn't have that generational hype that a Sharingan does.
nah.
I guess.
Jigen had the whole entire thing with shrinking and going to that shit was so menacing when Jigen whipped it out.
Hmm.
Pause. The last time that shit meant anything, like Kawaki whooped on cold. Like when he first reawakened the Karma. So after that, I don't know about y'all, but like maybe Ikimoto's doing such a good job of introducing so many new abilities, but it's underwhelming. Now when
He's
he
just going
becomes
through
more
his
dangerous,
Amaterasu arc. He's just going through his Amaterasu arc.
yeah, I was about to say, yeah, once he becomes more dangerous, we gonna be taking like the simplest shit, nigga gonna shrink and resize himself. Everybody,
Why
oh
did
my
he
god,
shrink
y'all
when
see
he
this?
fights to more? Like he doesn't really utilize that.
He shrunk against Jura. He did a lot of shit against Jura.
I
He
didn't. I
shrunk
don't
against.
remember that. Okay, I gotta go back to that fight.
I'm about to say he shrunk against Jura. He did the chakra cubes against Jura, the chakra
Yeah, I
rods.
remember the chakra cubes and the rods.
I feel like his stocks just shrank because he overheated against Mamushi, and even though Mamushi is a threat, he's still kind of the clown of the Shinju just because of the other chapters where we had to wait. So it makes
Yeah,
Kawaki just seem less than. And we know for a fact that if he had overheated against Jura, no one would have been clowning on him because it's just Jura. So I
yeah.
think that's the disconnect we get with Kawaki right now.
I think he would have been up more in stocks as far as like the popularity if they would have judged it when he first got introduced to the anime.
They would
Oh,
have did what?
100%. But he is still popular in Japan.
Yeah.
I see
No,
why
I mean like
overseas.
overseas.
Yeah, I see why overseas he might not be top 3 because you have the Rasengan hype, you have the Sharingan hype, and again it's legacy characters.
Part
You're,
one, low key, if they would have asked him that part one, Kawaki would have been top 3.
oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm
100%.
saying. If they would have did it at part one,
Especially because we barely saw Himawari, so
I'm about to say, literally, though, I think low key, even now, it's just that Himawari is the one, literally, that's the one that took his spot. It was
yeah.
Boruto, Sarada, and Kawaki. Himawari took Kawaki's spot.
And it's like Himawari didn't have much screen time at all in the manga, so
Yeah.
that top 3 spot goes to Kawaki by proxy. if you're not counting legacy characters like Naruto and Sasuke.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, guys, I gotta dip out. Thank you everybody for joining us. Everybody who left a super chat. Well, J Money Go 8. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next podcast. I think Black, you're going to that's your
Listen.
mom's things, but you're going to Tokyo, right? Or
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be in Tokyo in May, bro. This shit gonna be live, and I think when is
Tokyo.
Boruto's 10th anniversary? That shit's in May.
It should be May, yes.
So I'm gonna try to see if I can see something exclusive down there, or I want to see at the
You
very
should do
least
a
because
vlog and let us
I heard
sorry, go ahead.
say that. Oh no, yeah. I'm gonna definitely get mad footage out there too. But I heard that they've been promoting Boruto more on the streets in Japan and Tokyo and stuff. So when I go out there, if I see like some Boruto merch, especially like the murals that we see on Twitter on the streets, if I actually do see them, I'm gonna be like, yeah, bro, it looks like they're gearing up to promote the anime. So that's what I'm keeping my eye out for once I get to Japan. I'm gonna see
Yeah, I
what they're
think
doing over there.
yeah, you should do some vlogs. Maybe you can edit them and shit like that and drop them on the channel or your channel, however you want to do it.
I'm gonna have some footage for sure when I come back. It's a matter of what type of footage will I be recording.
I mean,
But
just shit.
nah, though.
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I was about to say nah, though. I'm looking, bro. That's what I'm really marking my calendar because I'm like, I know for a fact they've been because y'all peep the Boruto channels. They've been doing more and more Boruto promotion slowly. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I told y'all the anime come. That's when I'm gonna talk about it. But I'm like,
When do you say
oh,
you're going again?
in May, end of May.
Well, okay, I can probably get a ticket. I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, I had just literally got my whole
Yeah, I can probably
passport
get a ticket.
situation situated. So
But yeah, no. So if y'all interested in that, if you can get a vlog together, let us know in the comments. Please hit that like button, subscribe and comment down below. I gotta go. I'll catch y'all later. Peace, guys.
Hey,
Be
talk to y'all
safe.
later.
all right.